John Marks, Andrew Salciunas. This is Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Dan, we're rolling in a Tuesday. It is Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic. I'm your host, John Marks, along with the man Tunis himself, Andrew Salciunas.
Hello.
What's going on today, man?
Well, we'll get into it, but I stayed up for one reason and one reason only, and I got my answer pretty quickly last night, and it wasn't the one that I was hoping for.
You stayed up to watch the Phillies?
I stayed up to see how Zach Wheeler looked, and it didn't take long to see, he's not looking all that great. How is he?
I was awake. I didn't intentionally stay up to watch it. I actually put for my Bet Parks, I do Bet Parks picks of the day, and I put them on social media. And I said it yesterday on the air. I thought it was a Phillies loss.
Yep.
I didn't want to be like, because Zach Wheeler's going to suck. I just thought it would be one of these games where they don't have much offense and they lose.
Which they didn't, right? 5 hits yesterday, 2 runs. But that's not the storyline, unfortunately.
Wheeler got shelled. I was also up late because I had a late evening. I was in Ohio. There's this trailer park called the Wheat Hill Mobile Home Community, and there's a lot to do out there. So that's where I was.
Dude, that story that comes out yesterday, I'm sitting there going, all right, what's real anymore? Right? You talk about the Facebook stories and how
Facebook stories.
How they're all fake. I'm reading the state of California yesterday. There's a chance that the Dodgers have to sell because the owner's running out of money, and then Shohei Ohtani has a deal in his clause, or a clause in his contract, that if the owner or the GM leaves, that he can just walk whenever he wants. They got the owner of the football team banging prostitutes in a mobile home in Ohio, because what else would you do as a billionaire? The state of California had an off day yesterday.
They did. They did. It was wasn't expecting to see that yesterday, but
maybe Jed York wanted to escape the electrical. What's the facility next to their practice facility? The electrical substation.
But do you know what's right next to the mobile home park?
Another electrical substation?
Correct.
That's awesome.
Somebody went on Google Maps to see exactly where it was, and then you can see it's like where I live up in Collegeville. They put houses anywhere that they can.
Oh yeah.
And they just they're building houses. Like the most recent ones by the Target in Royersford. If you go out on your back deck, you're looking at the power lines. I mean, not even like you're literally, you could like, hey, let me go touch the power line. It's like 100 yards from my house. And it's like that's where they're putting houses and people are buying them. But you would think a trailer park's a little bit different because it's like, all right, like who cares where you put the trailer park? We're going to put, this is going to be there. But it's just surprising a billionaire would be visiting getting caught in a sting at a trailer park. But anyway, we'll talk about that coming up here. Yes, and Zach Wheeler was terrible last night as well. We'll get into all of it, a lot of Eagles conversation to get into. One of the biggest things for me in starting this new endeavor of mornings, though, Andrew, is not to get fat. Because the last time I worked mornings, I was working with Jamie and Anthony.
Yeah.
My routine was I would get up, and Brendan Pachilli, by the way, is producing today. Hey, BP. Speaking of fat, hey, BP.
Yeah, I was waiting for that joke right there. I was waiting for it. I could see the setup building, and I was just like, here it comes.
It wasn't intentional. I looked at you, and I'm like, okay. So, but you can get involved in this. So I worked with Anthony and Jamie. This was 10 years ago.
Yep.
That I was working on the show. But I got into this routine where I lived literally right next to a Wawa. So it wasn't like right now where I live, for me to go to a Wawa would be a little bit inconvenient. Like, I don't want to stop. This was impossible to be like, all right, I can just get my coffee there. And so I got the 24-ounce coffee, and then I got, at the time there was a special that was going on, 2 for $3, the king-size Reese's peanut butter cups. So you would get 6 Reese's peanut butter cups for $3 and then a coffee. So that would be my breakfast every morning. I would eat that, and I would have coffee. And then I would drink more coffee here. And then when I got done work, I would go to McDonald's, and I would eat Big Macs. And I would eat 3 Big Macs. I went through the stretch where it was almost like a bit. I would eat 3 Big Macs for lunch.
You were eating 3 Big Macs?
650 calories. They're 550 calories each. So I was eating, and then you train your stomach to where that's what you're going to do. So
you're hungry now for it.
And the Big Macs taste so good. So, I got so fat. There's a picture of me with the late Richard Lewis. I should put it out on social media. I was in a hoodie footy pajama. You know the hoodie footy pajamas?
Yes.
It's like a bunny outfit without the head. So I was in that. Richard Lewis was in studio. I was so fat I could barely fit into this hoodie footy pajama. I looked so bad when I look back at that. I'm like, oh my God. But I became such a slob, and I blame part of that work in mornings. So
You also had the meat locker Thursday, so you had more
Anthony
burgers.
was bringing in
you had more
tomato
burgers
pies.
that day. Yeah.
we were getting steak. Everybody's bringing food in.
Yeah, got to get you in.
Gianna was just born, so I had the baby weight and everything else. Petrilli.
That's the real issue around here. It's like all the great sponsors that we have, they bring in food all the time. And like I've been the one setting it all up, whether it's down here, Preston and Steve, wherever, just in the office in general, there's always food. And it's just like, I probably shouldn't, but it's free.
Free food's good food.
It's great
yeah.
food.
Oh, I do. When I was an intern in first couple of years, and hell, I'd do it now if I thought about it. I used to bring Tupperware containers in, and whatever was not finished, I would bring it home.
That's
with
what
me.
Dutz did.
Dutz, yeah.
Well, yeah, because when you're first starting on radio, you're making absolutely no money. I ballooned working with Mike because we had a deal every Monday and Friday. Different delis from across the Philadelphia Tri-County area, if they were a Dietz and Watson deli, they brought in hoagies during football season.
Dude.
So this was every Monday and Friday. So think about this. Every Monday, I would have a hoagie in that producer room, BP, and then I'd take one home with me, and I would eat it Tuesday for dinner. And then every Friday, I would have it in that studio.
Same thing.
And then I'd bring one home for the weekend. So I was averaging 4 hoagies a week. And these were these were deli hoagies. This wasn't like the really small, like tightly wrapped. No, this
getting
was
a
like
big guy.
this
Yeah.
stuff's falling out. There's so much filling inside the hoagie, and I wasn't taking out the dough. I wasn't doing keto. No, I was eating.
You weren't going bread free.
No. I was going 4 full hoagies a week throughout an entire football season for 6 months.
They call that in the business scooping the roll.
Yes, exactly.
So you were eating all of it.
My issue yesterday, we're talking about this. You're right, John. This is hitting home for me pretty good here because my thing right now is Wendy's. The 4 for $4, the $5 biggie bags.
Yeah, dude.
I may have crushed 3 junior bacon cheeseburgers yesterday for lunch.
Oh, dude, that's nothing.
Yeah, they're just a high quality, solid item, and it's just so cheap. You get the $5 bag, you got the rewards points. I get a free one on top of it, and I'm living good on the way.
Damn right, man.
Up City Ave?
Yeah, right up City Ave.
I used to when I first started here and I worked weekends. I used to go up and I would get off the value menu, and then I would run back if I was bored opping a football game or something on a Saturday, a college football game. I'd run up there, get food. And then just buy a bag like $10 worth of Wendy's in a bag.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
Easily.
bring it back.
I used to pull over there with Phil from Mount Airy because there were days where I needed to drive him home from work, and he lived up that way. So he'd go, oh, stop at the Wendy's. He never bought me one, though. You'd think if I was driving you home, you'd offer the kid that's making no money a Wendy's. Oh, my God, dude. You look great. That's a good-looking picture of you, John.
I'm going to send it to you. So, and it's a video because Aton, who was here for whatever reason, couldn't take a picture, and he took a video. So I had to take a 3-second video. So I had to take a still shot of the video. So I don't have a clear picture. I just have the play in the middle of the picture.
That's wonderful, dude. That is a beautiful picture.
I don't know why Aton couldn't figure it out, and I was mad.
Well, you can figure that one out.
Well, you're right. You're right. I could figure it out.
We're just going to blame the angles there. As a big guy, you got to know how to work the angles.
Oh, we're not going to blame the angles. I was fat and I was disgusting. I look back at those pictures and my wife is beautiful, and I was like, what was she thinking about me at that time? It's not like
dude.
that. I'm tall, dark, and handsome. I'm short, and then I was pudgy, and
The hair, was this before the hair too?
no, it was after the hair.
Okay.
It was after the hair. No, it was after the hair. I announced that I'd done the hair. But anyway, here I'm gonna send it to the group chat here.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful picture. I mean, look, I remember when I first started doing mornings with Johnny in 2024. Casey boy came up to me and said, "Hey, I got one bit of advice for you. I'm thinking he's gonna give me make sure you prep the night before, get a good night's sleep, blah blah." He goes, "Don't get fat." And I go, "Oh, okay." He goes, seriously, once you get into that routine that you're talking about where you're tired, so you're not exercising as much, you're getting up and you're going to whatever fast food joint to get food real quick, or I don't eat before or during the show. You go to the fast food joint afterward, and that's just part of your routine. You're eating fast food every single day. You're not exercising. You're in a balloon.
You're going to get fat.
He said it's the morning show 15. So I've avoided the morning show 15 in almost 3 years.
Well,
now.
I think I put on 10 before I even started. I do like I can do this thing where I will be so diligent and like I'm not going to eat pizza. I'm not eating fast food. I'm not eating pizza. I can do it for 2 months straight. You know what I've been doing recently? Like last night, I ate a sensible dinner. I don't even remember what I had, but it's like salad, protein, whatever. And then it's 10:30. I'm downstairs doing dishes, watching the Phillies game, setting the school lunches up for this morning, and I had 4 ice cream bars. I had 2 Twix ice cream bars, a Snickers ice cream bar, and $100,000. My man, $50,000, $100,000 ice cream bar. 4 of them. It's over 1,000 calories between the 4. That was last night at 10:30.
Are we talking like the minis, or are we talking the full?
I'm not talking about the minis.
All right.
Because I buy them from my kids like them. I buy them from the grocery store. And the Twix are so good. The Snickers are, like, everybody has the Snickers. The Twix are so good. So I started off with 1, and then I'm like, all right, we'll have a Snickers. And then I'm just like, I don't care. And I had 4 of them. Last night at 10:30,
right,
and then
so,
I go to sleep at 11.
Was the sugar keeping you up? Like, that's crazy.
No, and then I get up at 2. I got up at 2:30, so I got no sleep. I'm eating 4 ice cream bars, thousands of calories before I go to sleep.
There's a very obvious question here. As a man that is very open about his use of cannabis, like every single day, was there something going on that provided this?
Oh no, I don't get like munchies or whatever. If anything, cannabis it doesn't make me hungry. It does the opposite.
Oh, good for you.
It's not like smoking cigarettes to where it's like you don't want to eat. But
Yeah.
I don't get I never got the munchies from.
Oh, God bless you, man. I'd have a 6-pack if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, so is that what you do?
Oh, yeah, dude. That's where it all, yeah.
Well, so I'm trying to avoid over-caffeinating, so I bring the big coffee from home.
Good for you.
And I haven't been drinking coffee otherwise, and then so I'm trying. My big problem now isn't what it just is after dinner, after I get the kids to sleep, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
My big thing that I've been trying to go to lately is just like a bowl of cereal instead. And like people call me crazy. I just love the regular Cheerios. So I like to think that's a little bit of a healthier option for a late night snack.
Sure, it is.
That is a wild choice, though. Just the regular.
Yeah, just the regular.
I don't like honey nut.
I don't like the honey nut at all.
Because the honey nut is a top tier cereal.
That's what I hear.
It gets slept
Love
on.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, honey nut Cheerios are still elite to this
What
day.
are you eating? Grape nuts too?
What? No,
Well,
just
just put some-
regular Cheerios.
What?
They lower your
You put
cholesterol. That's why I'm
blueberries-
healthy.
You put blueberries in your cereal.
No, we don't go that far.
Not the frozen ones though, because then you'll be pooping yourself. Is that still an issue? Is that what? That was the latest one that's been causing problems. The frozen blueberries.
Frozen blueberries we're having the issues with the.
Thank
All right, so and I think Austin's. If you're watching on YouTube, Austin's gonna post the fat picture of me with Richard Lewis.
It's the cheeks in that picture is where it's the real difference for me. It's like you can see how bloated those cheeks are. Like,
And Richard Lewis is giving the camera the finger. He was doing this whole bit where I was like, you ever go to a comedy show where the comedian picks out somebody from the audience and and they pick on them and like that becomes the person they keep going back to? That's what Richard Lewis was doing to me. And he was being like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why do you have this guy here? He's disgusting. Why is he dressed in this? And I don't remember why I was dressed in it, honestly.
I'm surprised there's no stains on that
Do you
suede.
still have that?
I don't know if we threw it out. I actually, because I was doing the commercials for it, it was actually for my wife, who would never wear it because who the hell wants to wear? Like if you're out in the cold, you would put that thing on. That's not comfortable to sleep in. So she never wore it, and then I just started wearing it as a gag, but it was really short. But then it became too tight, and I couldn't do it. All right, well, there you go. Anyway,
Man.
so we'll get into it coming up here next segment, but the Phils, the winning streak is over. They fall last night, and they fall because, the offense wasn't great, but Zach Wheeler was getting bludgeoned.
Yeah, man. 5-run first inning for the Mariners, and that's part of the season where Don Mattingly's like, all right, I can't go to my bullpen just yet. They're overtaxed, but maybe your starting pitchers are being overtaxed too. It's funny, John. I said this a couple of weeks ago when Sanchez sort of went through his lull, and he wasn't good his last start, but it was when he had like 3 or 4 starts where it wasn't that great. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Remember Christopher Sanchez had that incredible scoreless streak going on this year? He wasn't doing a scoreless streak pitching 4 innings. He was doing a scoreless streak pitching 7, 8 innings, throwing 100 pitches a night. And that's great. We're in the middle of it. We're saying, wow, he's chasing history. He's going after Oral Hershiser's record. And now you're in August, and you're going, damn, he pitched a lot of innings during that stretch. And is that some of the issues right now? Zach Wheeler, when Zach Wheeler comes back from his injury, we don't know what he was going to be. His first couple starts were shaky. The velocity wasn't there. Then it came back, and he looked like Zach Wheeler of old. And my man was going out there pitching 7 innings a night. And then you realize he's 36 years old. And it wasn't that long ago, 2022, where it wasn't injury-related. It was just he was overworked, and they gave him the month off before the playoffs. It almost feels like we're reaching that territory again. The problem is it's with 2 guys. It's with Wheeler and Sanchez. And the only thing that I have kept on saying throughout this entire season, the roller coaster ride, the highs and the lows, I've never counted them out for one reason. Those 3 guys, Sanchez, Wheeler, Luzardo. If those guys aren't right come playoff time, they have 0 shot of winning squat because that's the strength of this baseball team.
Yeah.
I'm down on the Phillies.
If this was September 25th, I would say they're screwed.
Right.
They literally have a month and a week to figure this out. So for me, the alarm bells aren't going off. We'll recap the game from last night, but Wheeler has been bad in his last. He had the one start in Baltimore where he went 2 innings and he didn't give up. I don't even think he gave up a hit.
No, he was great, but then the rain stopped it.
You had a rain delay, and then he didn't come back out because it was such a long rain delay. If you take those innings out, his ERA's over 9.
Yeah, like that's not good.
And he's walking a lot of people too. So I think the natural question is he injured? Because he had that one start that he came out and the velocity was down.
Yep.
And immediately, if you're a pitcher and your velocity's down, that's an alarm that, the elbow, the shoulder, the tricep tendonitis, whatever it is, how many times have we seen it before where a guy loses velocity, they say it's okay, then he doesn't have the velocity, then they say he's going to skip a start, then he's on the IL, then he's getting Tommy John, then he's having a major thing. I don't believe that's the case with Wheeler. His velocity was fine last night.
Yeah, it was. And remember, after his last start, he talked about how he adjusted some things with his mechanics. And if there's any guy that's going to figure it out on the fly, it is Zach Wheeler because he's a future Hall of Famer. But still, like the Phillies might have to make a decision like ASAP about adding a 6th man to the rotation. They signed Nestor Cortez or skipping a start. And then, maybe Zach Wheeler waits 10 days till his next outing. Because right now, that's the strength of the team. But you also need to keep on winning games. Like, I think they make the playoffs regardless.
I'm less worried about that. But that could change very quickly.
Well, yeah, they just won 9 straight games. What if they lose 5 in a row? They're only 2 games up of the Padres
but that's
now.
The third, and then they're
4 games up of the Diamondbacks. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, we'll go over all of this coming up as we go into the news. We have the Phillies recap from last night. We have everything going on at training camp. We have Jed York, the owner of the Niners, getting busted for going to a trailer park to meet with a prostitute. It was a sting operation. There was no real prostitute, by the way. And
is that even more embarrassing if you're Jed York?
What, did he went to some prostitution website and got caught up in a sting?
Yes.
For $150?
$150. He's a billionaire. Like, that's even more embarrassing.
But look, I don't want to do the segment for the segment, but Robert Kraft went to the Orchids Day Spa or whatever it is, the day spa. Like, the days that you're thinking that you're getting these high price, like who was the owner? It was one of the Giants owners that was trying to connect with like Ukrainian. Regardless, you would think with billions or millions, if you're a millionaire, you don't have to eat at Wendy's like Petrilli because you have a lot of money.
Yeah.
But unless you like eating at Wendy's.
Steve Tisch, by the way.
Steve Tisch. Yeah, so like maybe if Petrilli had millions, he would eat at Wendy's.
Yeah, you don't become a billionaire spending all this money at Foco de Chao every day. You know, you gotta save some costs going for the $5 biggie bag. That's how you afford the nicer things in life. Is from what I'm thinking.
I don't know about that. Is he going to the ATM and is he like taking out the money so it's not trade?
Yeah, I guess.
It's bizarre. All right.
You got Cash App?
Yeah. I don't think he Venmoed. But Jerry Springer very famously wrote a check when he was mayor of Cincinnati. He wrote a check to a prostitute.
That's good.
And that's how he got caught.
That will never get traced.
How much cash do you think these guys are carrying around? Like a couple grand? We're talking
None.
Not. They think they're just straight cards. A high rollers like that, they roll cash. No, not anymore.
Maybe.
Oh man,
I don't know. All right, we have that recap. That's coming up in the news. It's Marks and Salciunas, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Phil's win streak is snapped. I'm Sean Rodman, and Zach Wheeler had his worst start of the season. Wheeler went 4 innings, but gave up 5 walks and 4 home runs. That led up to 8 earned runs for Wheeler. Over his last 5 full starts, excluding a rain-shortened one, he has a 9.27 ERA with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. Wheeler was asked postgame if he's dealing with any type of injury.
That's why it's so frustrating right now. It's just because I'm on a rough stretch and I feel fine. You got to really dig in. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll sit down and talk, try to get some stuff figured out.
Phillies are back in action tonight in Seattle. Aaron Nola is scheduled to start for the Phils, and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Smith were back at practice in full yesterday for the first time, as they're both dealing with hamstring injuries. A good sign for the Eagles heading into open practice tonight at the Link. Practice begins at 6 o'clock for Eagles fans, and ESPN's Tim McManus will join us at 8:40 on All Things Birds. This update's brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule with real expertise tailored to your needs. Make an appointment with a Verizon business expert. Go to verizon.com/book today. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Get in on the conversation and send us a text or voice message on the Davis Honda text line at 610-632-0975. Now back to Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour is brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White is here for the pro.
All right, we're back. Marks and Salciunas on a Tuesday. We got the news coming up here in a second. But let's intro our Twitter poll. And as always, our Twitter poll is stood up by Dr. Abaddon Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. You can bring that down all the way because I want to do this there for the Twitter question. All right, Petrilli, what do we got, brother?
We got today, what is your level concern?
So bring it down a little bit. There you go.
There we go. What is your level of concern for Zach Wheeler today?
And the choices are concerned, very concerned. There's some concern, but we've seen this before, or no concern at all.
I'm concerned, and it's because of how this team relies on the starting pitching. I know the bats have been more consistent recently. They've been scoring runs. They have not been relying on the home run. The bullpen, we're starting to find some guys sort of get into form. You had McFarland pitch a nice inning the other night. Went out there yesterday as well. Got 2 strikeouts in 1 inning. So you're starting to sort of get some guys in the bullpen figured out. But, man, that doesn't matter if you can't get through 6. Like, if you're facing the Cubs, Brewers, or Dodgers, which right now, if the playoffs started today, you're facing the Cubs in the wild card round, the Brewers in the NLDS, and then you would most likely face the Dodgers in the NLCS. There is no way you're getting through that without getting through 6 innings.
So we give the hedge, which is we've seen this before. I'm concerned, but we've seen this before. If you're gonna make me say either concerned or not, I'm not, because he's not injured. We're gonna go over it right now because this is what happened last night. Let's get to the news here. Man, it was a rough one last night. I didn't even try to stay up to watch the game. It just happened that I did that. I don't stay up for West Coast games.
No, I don't normally either, but it's, first pitch is usually when I'm starting to doze off a little bit.
9:30 is better than 10.
Yes.
So it allows you to start it.
Yeah.
And it was ugly early. The streak's over. Phillies lose to the Mariners 9-2. The story of the game, bad Zach Wheeler. Bad Zach. Bad Zach Wheeler. 4 home runs. Here's how they all sounded on Seattle TV.
On a 3-2. Smokes. Drilled. Cal Raleigh leaves the yard for the second time tonight. Young swats this out to right field. Harper watches it fly out of here. Cal Raleigh and Cole Young back to back.
Yep, 4 home runs, 8 runs in all, 5 walks, 4 innings, 9 hits. Zach Wheeler, bad Zach. His ERA, if you take out the rain-shortened game of 2 innings against Baltimore, 9.27 in his last 5 starts, 16 walks in 22 and a third inning. That's not Zach Wheeler.
No, that's not him, and that's why you're thinking, all right, could it be something? Could it be injury-related? Could he just be working on mechanics? And Andrew Painter gets sent down for that. Zach Wheeler, you're like, all right, you can figure that out up here. But what if it isn't just mechanics? Like, what if it is his arm's getting fatigued? He's 36 years old. He's coming off of thoracic outlet surgery. And we've never really seen a player come back the way that he did where he was so dominant, right? Wheeler was fantastic when he came back from it. But we didn't know what the shelf life of that was. Like, what if it was July, pitching every 5th day?
There was a real conversation about him starting in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And a potential Cy Young with the way he was pitching. Now his ERA's over 3. And by the way, Cal Raleigh added a 3rd home run in the 9th inning. So he had a game.
And he's been having a bad season. So
he was batting under 200 for a while.
He hits 3 home runs.
We got dumped on last night, fellas. That's what happened.
Big dumper, man.
We got dumped on.
Yeah, I'm not a big Cal Raleigh fan. But anyway.
What don't you like about Cal Raleigh?
His nickname.
Oh.
I don't know.
Are you jealous? Is that why?
He didn't make it.
No, I don't. I mean, you like the nickname because you like big dumpers.
I'm a big fan.
I'm not a. I like big dumpers. I'm fine with that. I don't like this big dumper. All right. After the game, Bad Zach was asked what's going on. Here it is.
Can you remember feeling like this before a stretch like this where you're just...
It's been a while. To be totally honest with you, and as humble as I can, it's been a while, and it's that's why it's so frustrating. You know, I haven't had a stretch like this in a while, and I just don't really have anything else to say, to be totally honest with you.
That was the end of when he was talking, because he kind of was saying the same thing over and over, which was he didn't have any answers,
Right.
And he's got to figure it out. And he had said that as well. He's like, tomorrow I got to come in and I got to figure it out, which I actually have. I have confidence that he can do.
Sure.
But yeah, like we're on a run right here. Do you remember? I don't know if it was the first of the poor outings but everybody after the game said, we just had a bad day. Oh, he just had a bad day. JT after the game was like, he just had a bad day. Haven't you ever had a bad day? He had a bad day. And he did have a bad day. This is another bad day.
Now it's a bad month. Have you ever had a bad month? I've had a bad month before. Have you ever had a bad month? Greg on our YouTube chat, and Greg's his little picture is a baseball, so he's a big baseball fan.
All right.
Greg says it'll be fine. It was one game. It wasn't one game. For the Phillies, it was. It was their first loss in a week and a half because they had a 9-game winning streak. But for Zach Wheeler, it's been the month of August. He's got an ERA this month of 7.59. So it's not just one game. I understand that we don't want to always live in doom and gloom land, especially when the Phillies are rolling right now. But for them to roll, they need him to be Zach Wheeler, the pitcher that we know, not Zach Wheeler 4 home runs in an outing like he gave up.
All right, so last 5 outings outside of that outing against the O's where it was rain short.
Yeah.
3 innings, 5 runs. 5 in the third, 4 runs. 5 innings, 4 runs. 5 innings, 2 runs. And then you had the 4 innings last night, 8 runs. I guess to Paul's point, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to write the eulogy for Zach Wheeler this year and he's just going to suck. But you got to be at least a little bit concerned. He hasn't looked himself, without a doubt. All right, here's more Bad Zach after the game. He's talking about his health. Question and answer.
Fear. Yeah, that's why it's so frustrating right now. It's just because I'm on a rough stretch and I feel fine. And you got to really dig in. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Sit down, talk, try to get some stuff figured out.
Yeah, dig in, John.
He's going to dig in.
He's just got to dig in.
You know what we need? We need somebody to piss him off. Remember Mad Zach?
Yeah.
Not Bad Zach. Mad Zach, when he didn't he wasn't originally chosen for the All-Star game. He came out, he was firing after those
What gets
games.
him angry at this stage of the season? Doubt? Is he a guy that...
Did Dave Dombrowski have a press conference?
Yeah. Not elite.
Hey, Dave, what are your thoughts on Zach Wheeler at this part of his career?
We have a good club.
Yeah. That actually might be the best way to go about it, that he's just not elite anymore.
So Petrilli, let's get a fake Dave Dombrowski on the air, an AI-generated Dave Dombrowski, and we'll get him to talk crap on Zach Wheeler. That gets him mad. That turns the season around.
The guys do seem to tend to be listening to our shows nowadays, supposedly Bill Colarulo says, so maybe Zach will hear it.
If Bill says it, then you know it's true.
Yeah.
All right, here's JT after the game talking about what's wrong with Bad Zach. Oh, there we go. We got it.
Oh, you just had a bad day.
Yep.
You know?
Let's try it again. Ready? So after the game, Andrew Salciunas, JT Realmuto speaking about Bad Zach.
Do you remember a stretch since you've been catching them like this?
For him?
Yeah.
Definitely games, but maybe not quite this long. But definitely, I've seen stretches where he hasn't been at his best. But we all struggle with times, and so I think it's one of those. He's going through a tough time right now, but we have all the faith in the world that he's going to come out of it.
All right, there you go. Cy Nola on the mound tonight to try to turn it around for the Phils, and then you have Jesus Luzardo on Wednesday.
We were talking about Luzardo before the show. I love watching him pitch because I can watch him strike out 15 and give up 7 runs.
Yeah, he's
in the same game.
He's different. Sanchez and Wheeler, you almost expect them to give up only 2 runs or 3 runs. Or you're like, what's wrong? Luzardo can give up a 5 or a 6 spot any given game, but he's got electric stuff.
But then, he'll look dominant doing it.
Man.
You'll look up. You'll go, wait, how many runs he's given up? He's been so good today, I thought.
All right, coming up, more in the news, including the Eagles and We had the story. Niners owner Jed York arrested for engaging in prostitution. And Deshaun Watson, they reward him criticizing the fans by naming him the starting quarterback. It's a very Browns thing to do. That's coming up next. It's Marks and Salciunas. Don't go.
All right, let's talk about the prediction markets. All right, before the season even kicks off, everyone's making predictions, like who will win the division, who makes the playoffs, who's lifting the trophy at season's end. Maybe you had Deshaun Watson being named the starting quarterback for Cleveland. Well, if he did that, well, it hit, I guess. On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you could trade those predictions in a live market. Something that caught my eye this morning is the big game matchups. Birds versus Buffalo, Birds versus Kansas City, Birds versus the LA squad in the American Conference, the AFC. All 2% chances, which means a $100 trade will pay out over $4,000, $4,679. You don't want to do that? All right, that's fine. How about the Birds to make the playoffs? 63% chance for them to make the playoffs. $100 trade pays out $154. And a team that I'm going to keep a close eye on is a team in the NFC South, New Orleans, to make the playoffs. Not to win the division, but to make the playoffs. 34% chance to make the playoffs. They probably have to win that division. $100 trade will pay out $273 on Kalshi. You're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Just download the Kalshi app and use code Fanatic to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Kalshi, trade on everything. You got to be 18 plus. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
The saves. The save time. Are live on YouTube right now. Join the chat and give them your thoughts on today's topics. Here again is John and Andrew on 97.5 The Fanatic, YouTube, and the Fanatic app.
We are live on YouTube. Good morning, everybody watching live on YouTube. It's a great way to enjoy the program. Either live, get involved in the live chat, or you can watch whenever you want to. On demand, as I do a lot of times when I'm doing dishes.
And by the way, we're very boring today because we're wearing boring clothes. Nobody said that. It's just I know that usually there is commentary on what we are wearing on a daily basis. But I'm just wearing like a blue T-shirt. You're wearing a light blue hoodie.
But don't you, it's actually mint green.
I should get my eyes checked. Now I see it. Now that you said mint
No,
green.
now it's in the light.
It's
Yeah,
like that
it's a mint
blue,
green.
remember the blue dress, gold dress thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw blue.
Yeah, I saw blue too.
I don't remember. But yeah, no, one of those things. No, this is a mint.
Okay.
It's like a light mint green.
Is that green? What?
I thought it was a light blue.
Yeah, I could see
Not a light
blue.
blue. I have the exact same thing in light blue. No, it's green. Look. It's green. Well, you typically, I mean, sometimes I don't do it on purpose, but yesterday I had a button-down plaid-ish shirt.
Yes.
There were people commenting on the shirt.
You know what? Probably. I don't really remember, to be honest.
I'm going to wear my camo. How about this? Tomorrow I'm going to wear my camo jumpsuit.
I love that. Yeah, I need that.
All right, I'm going to wear it tomorrow. Last time I wore it was when the Phillies didn't sign Bo Bichette. I've not worn it since. It was that day I was wearing camo, and I couldn't have been more mad. Not when they didn't sign Bo Bichette, when they gave JT a 3-year contract.
Yeah, I still remember when that went down, the 3-year contract for JT Realmuto, and my first thought was, who else was offering this?
Nobody.
And the answer was nobody.
It was pity pay. They knew he was pissed that they weren't going to sign him, so they said, hey, all right, we'll give you a 3-year contract. We'll give you everything you're asking for.
Pity pay could be more millions, not more years.
No, it was in this case. They're like, okay,
3 years.
Okay, JT, we're sorry. We'll give you 3 years like you wanted and 15 a year. Whatever else you want. Hey, who else is bidding against you? Nobody.
Hey, he went in the yard last night, though.
He did, yeah.
He did.
Is JT back?
And he handles a good staff.
Did he leave?
Well, not last night.
Did he leave, JT? I don't know if he actually left.
Yeah.
I think this is just kind of JT. He's a 35-year-old catcher. Like This is what he is. You got to be fine with it.
Whose offense was on the decline the last 2 years.
Nobody should be surprised at what he's doing, honestly. And
Dave Dombrowski is.
No, that's the problem is I don't think he is. And he gave him the contract anyway. All right, let's do some Eagles here. Preseason, a Friday night game this week, 8 p.m. against the Bengals, blah, 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 blah. McManus joins us later on 8:40 because we do have a lot to talk about with the backup quarterback, with the running back situation, how many wide receivers. Speaking of wide receivers, Makai Lemon back at practice.
Good to see.
Can he get ready and have an impact at the start of the season?
Yeah, I mean, if he does, he's going to play, right? He's going to play week 1. They might just not have, like, the biggest playbook for him. But with this style of offense, from what we've been told, because we won't see it till we see it, right? We're not going to see it till week 1. But the style of offense where you're doing a lot of stuff underneath, where you're doing stuff over the middle of the field, where you're getting guys open and throwing in space. It's not hitch routes where you're just trying to move the chains. You're trying to move the chains by throwing a guy in space and then doing stuff after the catch. Yak. No yak, Zach. Makai Lemon is a shifty fellow, dude. Like, I'm excited to watch him play. The problem is being a shifty fella with bad hamstrings. Like, that doesn't really correlate to something special.
Yeah, it sucks that this is the way that the career started.
Yeah, because I think he's going to be good. I'm very excited for the career of Makai Lemon.
All right, Lemon's speaking after practice yesterday. Here it is.
Yeah, same leg. Same leg.
Is there any concern that it's going to happen again? Like, or you feel pretty good?
Nah, I feel pretty confident, just learning from my mistakes from the, previous times, working with the trainers, setting a good plan for me. Just being a professional, off the field. So when things like this come about, I'm ready for everything.
You hoping to get out there Friday? Maybe get some plays out there in the preseason game?
Man, every time there's a game, I definitely want to play, so I'm just taking it day by day, out here just putting in the work in, and then we'll see how I feel Friday.
All right. I don't know if they're going to play him. I don't know if they want to play him. I think it'd be smart to get him out there and get him some game reps. I have no expectation of Lemon right now at all because they have wide receivers that are veterans on this team,
right?
That can step in and they'll be fine. So they're not screwed. Howie's done a good job of adding a lot of receivers in this case. You don't want to rely on a first-round draft pick to come in and be a starter. I think the Eagles that was their expectation. That's what they wanted. Mm-hmm. That's clearly not going to happen from the beginning.
What's going to be interesting, and this is not me taking a shot at Jalen Hurts before anybody gets their I get all
easy.
pissed off.
Just
I
take
know,
it. Just take a shot at Jalen Hurts. It's okay. You don't.
He doesn't really look at his third receiver all that often anyway.
How about his second receiver?
Well, no, Devontae still at 1,000 yards. I mean, the A.J. Devontae.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant in a progression.
No, so what I'm talking about is Devontae's your number one wide receiver. He will get his 1,000-plus yards. He'll probably finish with around 1,200. By all accounts, Dontavian Wicks is your number 2 wide receiver. He'll probably finish with like 700 to 900 yards. The wide receiver 3 over the last couple of years, you think about the moments of Jahan Dotson, it's because you can remember them because there was like 5. And it wasn't necessarily Jahan Dotson. It was Jalen didn't really look his way because he looked at the tight end first. That was more so his third option. So right now, if you're trying not to be concerned about the Lemon situation, Jalen won't really probably look his way anyway. It's going to be Smith, Wicks, Goddard.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
They'll be fine. Like, they're going to be fine.
I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, like, this is not me being like, oh, Jalen doesn't look at his third wide receiver, but he doesn't. So, like, I'm not that worried about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that coming up next segment because no one really seems all that worried about the Eagles. And at all this season.
Nope.
All right, so let's move on to Niners owner Jed York.
Oh, yeah.
Arrested on Sunday for engaging in prostitution and possessing criminal tools. Here's NBC Bay Area on the report.
The Ohio State Attorney General says York was detained Sunday morning by the Mahoning Valley Human Trafficking Task Force in East Palestine, Ohio. That's near York's hometown of Youngstown. Court documents claim York was arrested after responding to an ad on a known prostitution website and allegedly arranging sexual activity in exchange for $140. It was a sting operation.
Wow. $140 was the agreed upon price. He went to meet up at the Wheat Hill Mobile Home Community.
Where else would you go?
A trailer park. The Robert Kraft, like the Orchids of Asia Day Spa, which was next to an Outback Steakhouse in Florida.
Yeah, it was in a strip mall.
In a strip mall, and Jed York likes the mobile home. I mean, don't you look at it and be like a trailer park? I don't know if I need to go there. Or even though he's a billionaire, he's like every other guy that just was so horny he didn't really care.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. I don't even know what he was doing in the area. Is he from?
He's from there.
Ohio? Okay, so he was just hanging out. Maybe he's seen some old friends. Maybe he saw like an old girl that he had a crush on back in high school. And he was like, oh, man, I'm feeling a certain type of way. I need to take care of this.
Right. At least Robert, I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to, like, Robert Kraft at least went to, like, I guess he had a history with this day spa or like whoever the manager was to do it. I don't know, like, I mean, wouldn't you be scared if you're a married person or anybody of any type of prominence, aren't you worried about it being a sting? I could never do it because I'd be worried that I'm going to get caught. And then now your friggin' mugshot gets posted that you were soliciting a prostitute.
Yeah, and I think he was recently divorced.
Yes, he got divorced.
Yeah, so recently divorced. So
it was after Mother's Day that he got divorced.
So usually when people split up, the first thing the male does is go to a mobile home. And
Robert Kraft also, like, his wife had died. He was with the younger girl, but he was a widow. So it's not like
it's just insane. Like, our biggest issue with Jeffrey Lurie was no more hoagies at
Hoagie Gate.
Like, that was our gate. It was Hoagie Gate. Robert Kraft's got, I don't even want to say the gates. Like, they have
rub and tug.
Yeah, rub and tug gate. Like, these gates are a little bit different. It's fascinating, man, because when you're a billionaire, you said, wouldn't you be scared that it is this thing? Dude, they probably don't think about anything. Like, Kim Kardashian last year was like, I don't even know how much a carton of milk is. Like, they don't know. They live in a different world than we do.
I always say that. Like, ask whatever celebrity or the president, whether it's Biden or Trump, how much a loaf of bread costs.
They have no idea.
They might tell you $1,000, not $1,000. They might tell you $100. They might tell you a nickel.
Yeah.
They have no idea. Last time they bought anything like that. Yeah, Kim Kardashian, how much is a gallon of milk? $1?
Yeah, she's no idea.
Like, $7?
So Jed York's probably like, oh, this is a good deal.
He knows how much that costs.
Yeah, exactly.
Something tells me Jed York may know how much a loaf of bread is.
Yeah,
as opposed to maybe Jerry Jones.
Dude, it's unbelievable because now you're going into a season with this over their head. What do they do? I mean, he's the owner.
Nothing happens.
So it's not like they can fire him. He owns the freaking team.
He'll end up getting disciplined. But the NFL, you know what the NFL does? They kind of sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
They don't make a big deal.
What are they going to do? Take away a draft pick?
No, nor should they. They're, like the owner was solicited and engaging in prostitution. I don't know. He's not going to lose the team or anything like that.
No.
It's not like Donald Sterling, who was doing racist things and whatever else. All right, coming up. So the Birds, all right? No one seems to be worried about anything. And is it because the Eagles are just a machine and fans recognize that? This is a good time to get in. So if you're out there listening right now and you want to get involved in the Eagles conversation, the number is 610-632-0975. The Davis Honda text line. Feel the Davis difference. You can send the text message, leave your name and location, but also send the voice memo. So you send the recording to us, we clean up and play it, and then we put it on there like it's a phone call. But 610-632-0975. What are the expectations for the Eagles, and why are there no fans with any worries in the world about this team? We'll discuss that coming up next. It's Marks and Salciunas, 97.5.
Now on 97.5, The Fanatic Sports Update.
Zach Wheeler had his worst start of the season. I'm Sean Rodman, and Wheeler went 4 innings but gave up 5 walks. He allowed 4 home runs and 8 earned runs to his name. Over Wheeler's last 5 full starts, excluding a rain-shortened one out in Baltimore, he has a 9.27 ERA with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. JT Realmuto was asked post-game if he's ever seen a stretch like this from Wheeler before.
Maybe not quite this long, but definitely I've seen stretches where he hasn't been at his best, but we all struggle with times, and so I think it's one of those, he's going through a tough time right now, but we have all the faith in the world that he's going to come out of it.
Phillies are back in action tonight in Seattle. Aaron Nola is scheduled to start for the Phillies, and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Makai Lemon and Devontae Smith were back at practice in full yesterday, and the Eagles have open practice tonight at the Link. Tickets are $15.40. If you want to head down, will benefit the Eagles Autism Foundation. Eagles open practice will begin at 6 p.m. ESPN's Tim McManus will join us at 8:40 on All Things Birds as well. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Philly sports is all about. Morning Philly sports fix. Now more Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
That's right. Morning, everybody. Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic. John Marks, Andrew Salciunas, Brendan Petrilli, Millie Petrilli behind the board. Sean Rodman on updates. Austin Jones back there.
Got the whole crew, man.
The whole crew.
Got a starting five.
And now, I don't have it on my board. How tall are you, Petrilli?
5'9".
Listed at 5'10"?
Yeah, 5'10" on the ID. Yeah.
A 5'10" former rugby player from Susquehanna University, Brendan Petrilli.
You'd be the old school power forward, not the stretch four that we see in the NBA nowadays. You're Reggie Evans, dude.
I
You're
can
just
shoot.
grabbing boards.
Okafor.
I can shoot and pass, dude. Nah, man. Put me in the corner. I can spot up and shoot. Yeah. I can't run. I can't jump.
Well, then,
but
no,
I can
you're not
shoot
going
and
to the
pass.
corner. Then you need to be at the top of the key so that you can get back on defense.
True.
Corner, that's more running for you, dude.
My big part was going to the elbows. Elbow to elbow.
Oh, it's good.
Hit me at one of the elbows. I'll turn around and I'll put it in. Put it in the net. From there.
You a couple spots on the floor that you can nail them from, like you said, the elbow. That's smart.
And then if they crash on me. I hit them over the top with a little pass. We got an easy layup. That was the specialty. Me and Frankie Illingworth back in the day.
Frankie.
CYO basketball.
People have been talking about that connection for years.
Dude, it was the best.
Got a guy. All right. Well, why don't we do the Twitter poll, and then we're going to dive into the Eagles conversation. And we do have the co-founder of Club Hertz here.
Oh yeah.
Who a major ego boost over the weekend, where they're getting his shirt that's on TV.
Which, by the way, deservedly so, ego boost.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet that the shirt was the scene on TV.
All right, we'll explain in a second, but let's get to our Twitter poll, which is always standing strong with the support of Dr. Aviana Pell of Iron Mountain Men's Health. I got to go check him out.
So does Chet York.
Yeah, he does. Well, I want to get testosterone. I want to see if I have low T.
Okay.
40, almost 50. I have diabetes. So working mornings, I want to make sure my testosterone. So yeah, that's what he does, man. Like, listen, if you need help getting it up,
and then you'll hit the gym afterward.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not gonna give me anabolic steroids, but the testosterone replacement's good. I bring that up a little bit as I speak here. All right. So, what do we have here for the Twitter poll today, Petrilli? Is it it's about Zach Wheeler?
Zach Wheeler, what is your level of concern with Zach Wheeler? Are you very concerned? We've seen this before, or no concerns? This started out early. It is 57% for very concerned, 35%. We've seen this before, and 8% with no concerns.
I am a voter of very concerned, so I'm in the 57%.
I went 8%.
And it's not necessarily because it's Wheeler, and we have seen it before, right? Option 2, like I could also vote that because we have seen it before. But we haven't seen it at age 36, post-thoracic outlet surgery, and an offense that's not really consistent. Like, they need the starting pitching to go well, or they have no shot at winning anything.
Yeah, the concern for me isn't health. Is it going to be Cy Young, Zach Wheeler in the playoffs? Because that's what you need. And I think anybody would agree, I don't know if I'm going to get that guy. Now, he did have a stretch where he looked like Cy Young, Zach Wheeler for a long time. You have over a month of baseball left for him to kind of figure that out, maybe get his arm refreshed a little bit with a 6-man rotation or skipping a start. Mm-hmm. So I actually feel good that this is happening now. It's not happening next month.
Right, and that's a good point, because if it did happen next month, then we're in the danger zone. But I wonder what they do, man. Like, when Don Mattingly was first asked about Nestor Cortez, he barely knew anything about him. And so
Go figure.
I don't know. Like, is Cortez – the guy hasn't pitched. Like,
they have no idea what they're getting.
We're just throwing his name out there because we know him. What if he goes out there and it's like, oh, man, he's got nothing left?
Well, he hasn't pitched in a long time, and they sent him to Clearwater to get ready. So it's not even like he's ready to come up right now.
Right, he might not come up till next month.
He needs some time to come up, and he was here's where the Phillies are, because their bullpen's short. Killian. Yeah, he got injured right away. At least they thought he could be somebody that could pitch late in games.
Yeah.
That's not going to be the case now. So they really just were like, okay, what's the best arm that gives us the best upside? Well, at least this guy was an all-star before. Potentially he could come in. He's depth, the 6-man rotation or whatever.
They still have Alan Ron Hell around, man.
And he wasn't too bad as
he wasn't too good.
I think we have a good club.
As the piggybacker. But
I don't think I ever need to watch Alan Ronhell pitch ever again. I would if I don't watch him pitch ever again.
You didn't like the overhand style that he had?
No, like there? I would be okay on my deathbed. Hopefully not for many, many, many years, laying down on my deathbed, thinking about my life and going, I never had to watch Alan Ronhell pitch again. Like, I'd be all right with that.
Me too. Me too. I feel like that about a lot of players on the Phillies. Anyway, all right, so the Birds, 0-2 in the preseason. Sean Mannion's doing a terrible job. Just kidding. But, there's a lot of, and we'll talk to Tim McManus coming up at 8:40, but you had made this observation this morning, which is, man, the Eagles are a machine.
Yes.
You look at what they're doing right now and what they've done in the draft and the Super Bowls and every year going forward. And like you can look at the Phillies, right? And you can say, okay, you can see their window closing.
Yes.
And it's not closing fast necessarily, but it's closing. Their best chance to win a World Series probably has passed them with this group, right?
Sure.
You can't say that with the Eagles. The Eagles are pretty much always legit contenders for the Super Bowl. Now, they're not going to win every year. We know that. They didn't win last year, but still, 5 for 5 making the playoffs, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts. And I have a lot of confidence. When Jalen Hurts isn't the quarterback of this team, the Eagles will be fine. As long as Howie's still running everything, as long as they're still drafting the way they are. This team is a machine right now. So is that one of the reasons why people don't seem all that concerned about any of the issues with the Eagles right now? Because there are issues.
Right. There are legitimate issues, and we'll talk about them, but maybe that's what it is. I mean, you mentioned 5 for 5 making the playoffs. They're 5 for 5 in week 1, right? Like, we have gone into every single season with, oh, man, it's another new offense, and yet they win. Oh, man, they got to figure out this defense, and then they win. They have won week 1 every single year in the Nick Sirianni era with Jalen Hurts as the starting quarterback. Yep. So that's part of the reason why they are a machine. But once you start, unraveling the onion a little bit, like their number 3 wide receiver is the number 3 wide receiver because he couldn't participate in training camp. Right? Like, Mekhi Lemon didn't participate in training camp. He's learning how to be an NFL football player. Devontae Smith has really not practiced all that much. He's learning a new offense. So much is made about Jalen Hurts. Oh, he's got to learn another new offense. So does everybody else.
Right.
The offensive line is figuring out an entire new structure of offensive line play because they have a new coach in Chris Cooper. And I'm not freaking out about that, but my point is, and I was saying this to you before the show, and I'll say it to the people listening right now, it's not a guarantee that they're going to be great. Like, I believe they're going to win the division. I believe that they're going to be a good football team. I believe that they'll win a playoff game. It's not going to end the way that it did last year. But if I had to play devil's advocate, why wouldn't I be able to say, little concerning that the wide receivers haven't played all that much in camp. Little concerning about the offensive line coming off a year where they were all injured and they're now all another year older. A little concerning that Jalen Hurts, there's been talk about him struggling throwing over the middle of the field throughout his entire career, and he's going to have to do it more this year. Like, there are legitimate concerns. By the way, Sean Mannion doesn't have to be an elite play caller just because his name isn't Kevin Patullo.
Yeah, you're right. I think until we see them struggle, it's going to be – and you know what? They've earned the benefit of the doubt.
Right, I sound like an ass if I'm saying, oh, I'm concerned about this, because I shouldn't, because then I'm disregarding everything that they have proved people wrong with over the years.
But you can, but we're not at the point, before the Eagles won a Super Bowl, before they won the second, there was always this urgency of, no, you can't struggle in preseason. No, you can't have a new offensive coordinator. No, Sean Mannion doesn't have to be good. The offensive line doesn't have to get healthy. Now, because they've proven themselves, and they've proven themselves to be an elite franchise in the NFL, we are able to kind of lay back in the weeds, but then at the same time, we're still Eagles fans. Because the first drive of the first game, if it's a 3-and-out, we're going to get pissed.
Boo!
Right, and then the first half, if you struggle in the first half, we're going to get pissed. Last week, I made a positivity pledge for the Phillies.
I loved it.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to be positive. I believe in this team. I'm not going to go crazy if they struggle. And then they were winning games, so I haven't had to really test my positivity pledge just yet. But with the Eagles, there's no positivity pledge once the regular season starts.
No.
Period. Doesn't mean I'm firing Nick Sirianni after the first week, but Like, if they lose week one and the offense looks bad in week one, there's no everything's going to be fine. There is panic. Now, I also have to say, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to practice this, don't we almost have to acknowledge there's probably going to be some growing pains with this offense?
There absolutely will be. There's going to be growing pains. There was growing pains in the first 4 weeks last year, and we found out because Kevin Patullo was a buffoon. There were growing pains in the first 4 weeks of the year they won the Super Bowl.
So with Kellen Moore, who had experience going pains.
Right. So there's going to be growing pains. Like they might go 2-2, or even if they go 4-0 like they were last year, you're saying, yeah, they're 4-0, but there's going to be growing pains. And so I'm going to try to be as patient as possible. But as you say it, John, you're right. We are Eagles fans. I can tell myself patience pledge instead of your positivity pledge. I could do the patience pledge, and I could rip that damn sheet of paper up in week 2.
Yeah, I'm the
smartest coach in the world.
I'm not doing any patience pledge. I already know how it works. And last year, I remember specifically saying, like, all right, I get it. You were also coming off a Super Bowl last year. When they struggled early, I remember listening to you guys, and John was going nuts over Patullo, and my whole thing was he's inexperienced as an offensive coordinator, has never done it before, hasn't called plays. Kellen Moore struggled early last year. You got to give him a couple weeks to turn it around. The problem was he was unable to turn it around.
Right.
And that was a big mistake they made.
And what's concerning, if people don't just bury their head in the sand, and if you do, God bless you. What did you say about Kevin Patullo? He's never done it before. He's inexperienced.
But he was
what can you say about the new offensive coordinator of the Philadelphia Eagles?
However, why did Sean Mannion get the job?
Because they actually needed him.
Because he got the job because he was a young, up-and-coming, a lot of other teams were interested in hiring him. He's the next guy. They look at him as being like he's running the Sean McVay offense. That's the offense that the Eagles want to run. He was in high demand. Sean Mannion, even with lack of experience, he was in high demand. There was no demand for Kevin Patullo. The reason why he was offensive coordinator was he was the next guy in line, and the Eagles just won a Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni was able to flex a little bit and say, that's my guy. He's the next guy up. I'll bet you Howie Roseman wasn't necessarily excited for Kevin Patullo to be the offensive coordinator.
Probably not.
When you're a guy that old in the NFL and you haven't gotten a shot to be an offensive coordinator.
A sniff.
That's not a sniff.
Not a sniff, man.
That tells you a lot about the coordinator. He didn't. If he's getting interviews, he's not impressing at interviews. Guys aren't looking at him and being like, "We got to have that guy." Man, you see quarterback coaches that get head coaching jobs or offensive coordinator jobs based on their reputation and based on what general managers look at. Man, no one looked at Patullo like that, and it took Nick Sirianni and them winning a Super Bowl and him being loyal to a fault with his coaches. That's how Patullo gets put in there.
But he'll tell you that he's big reason why they won the Super Bowl. When he was in Miami, that was one of his first press conferences. I helped really build that offense that really got them going. I love that he took credit for it. It's incredible. He's leaking stuff to Ryan Fitzpatrick about Jalen Hurts and how much he doesn't like him.
For sure.
Like Kevin Patullo's stone cold rat, dude. Like it's so good that he's out of here.
That's the funny thing that makes me chuckle.
But to all the Club Hurts people, remember, Kellen Moore and Jalen Hurts. Kellen Moore did not like Jalen Hurts. Kellen Moore, according to everything that's been reported and everything I've heard, was very much the Super Bowl year. Like, man, he's difficult to deal with.
Well, they butted heads, which that's fine. I remember Carson Wentz and John DeFilippo. Remember him? They butted heads. And that was Carson's best year. DeFilippo goes, and then Carson was never the same. Part of it, probably the injury, but
but part of it was he was coached hard.
Yeah,
and
he needed the hard-ass coach.
DeFilippo got promoted, and they gave him now Press Taylor. Press Taylor wasn't working for Press Taylor. Press Taylor was working for him.
Right, exactly.
DeFilippo came in and was like, dude, you're a rookie. I don't care about you.
Right.
I'm your position coach. I'm going to coach you hard. Press Taylor's like, well, what do you need, Carson?
Then he went to Minnesota. And what was the head coach of the Vikings? He had the eye patch.
Zimmer.
Yeah. Zimmer. They hated each other, too.
I don't even think he's in the league, DeFilippo.
Ooh, I don't think so either.
For a while. He's coaching the UFL, or he was in one of those leagues. He was, for sure.
John DeFilippo.
Let's go to the phones. Andy in Deptford's checking in. Hello, Andy.
Yo, my guys. We live, we hot.
What up, Andy?
Yo, Marks, you made a comment I kind of strongly disagree with, where you said, if the Eagles moved on from Jalen Hurts, they would be absolutely fine.
Yep.
I just think that's a horrible statement because I look at Jalen Hurts' legacy, and since he's been here, like, this has been the best Eagles run of football. And I look at his play. I know he's got some things that he doesn't do well, but I look at some things that he does way more elite than any other quarterbacks in the league. And there's not many guys that I'd take over Jalen Hurts. And I'll give you some examples of some of those elite things he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's elite in the red zone. He's elite with his ball security.
Yep.
He's elite staying composed, not letting the moment get the best of him. But these last two things are what separates him from the pack, right? He's elite in winning. Since he's been in the league, only one quarterback's won more than him. And here's another thing that he's elite at, that, you know, the Joe Burrows of the world, all those other guys, he's elite at availability. He's hardly ever hurt. So I just don't get the
But see, you take it, and you, all the Club Hurts people, take that statement as being a criticism of Jalen Hurts, when really what it is it's more or less me saying the Eagles will always figure it out. The Eagles don't look at any particular player and say, that's the reason why we're winning. Like you said, Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Joe Burrow changed the Bengals. Even though they haven't won a Super Bowl, he came in. Joe Burrow's a great player, right? Jalen Hurts is a great player, and all those things that you say are true. He is an elite winner. It's more. He's not along for the ride. He's a big part why the Eagles are winning. But it's also the Eagles. It's also Howie Roseman and the way they draft and everything else.
Here's where we disagree.
Yeah.
Here's where we disagree. Whether you're the Eagles, the Bills, the Patriots, whatever the name of your team is, if you don't have an elite quarterback, you're not going to win. Okay? And I get it. Yeah. If we lost them, the Eagles are still the Eagles, right? But those guys aren't easy to find. Like, he fell on our lap. We're lucky that we were able to get a franchise best quarterback that the Eagles ever had in the second round. We're lucky.
Yep.
That doesn't usually happen like that.
And who drafted him? Howie Roseman,
without a doubt.
And he drafted him when Carson Wentz had just gotten a $100 million contract.
Yep.
He drafted him when a lot of people, including me, said it was a dumb move, and it ended up being a brilliant move. So that's confidence in the organization that they're always going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah, but it's not often that you can get a franchise quarterback in the second round. Howie did get him, without a doubt, and he gets all the credit for it. But that doesn't happen often. So I just wish that, he would get that long-term contract, and people would start praising the man rather than trying to criticize.
Depends on this
everything
season,
that
man. It depends on this season. If you want him to get that long-term contract, he's got to play well this year, man. It comes down to this year. The guaranteed money goes down after this season. He's not playing on this contract next year.
I think he's absolutely going to play well this year. But, you look at the landscape with this team, too, right? Like, everybody, the quarterback, gets all the praise. He gets all the negativity when they lose, right? But if you look at the landscape of how the team's constructed, we're really a defensive-built team. We have more makeup of the 0-1 Ravens than the Rams' greatest show on turf. So the offense may struggle. We may not put up big numbers.
Yeah, Andy, listen, I got to run, but Hurts plays, and it's never satisfying to fans and to the national analysts because he's not playing the way that they want him to play.
He's not throwing for 350 yards, dropbacks, right.
The Eagles have the formula. They know that. They know that they don't want Jalen Hurts throwing it 50 times. They want him to evolve as a quarterback, and that's what they're trying to do with the Man United offense.
But I have something off of Andy that I'll bring up next, and it's about the whole, we're a defense-oriented team and blah, blah, blah. Well, then why would you pay a quarterback $60 million if Andy, Club Hurts member, right? BP sounded like Andy was a Club Hurts member.
Yeah, he sounded like we'll have to get him a card.
He was making it clear that he's giving the defense the majority of the credit.
Well, when you call it a defensive-oriented team, you're actually talking about your quarterback by saying that.
Sure, but the thing is with Club Hurts is how we're developing here is we realize the talent that we have around us, but the guy, Jalen Hurts, who scores points? The defense doesn't score points, right?
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do, but you're not winning football games like that in today's NFL. Who's the guy that's getting you down the field? Who's the guy in the fourth quarter that the defense is going to get me a stop, and we know Jalen Hurts is going down the field to win us a football game? Yes, the defense could be locked down for you for 3+ quarters. Jalen Hurts is going to be the guy that goes down in the fourth quarter and make the plays when it matters.
All right.
I think that's what Andy's getting at.
All right, we have that coming up. If you want to get a phone call in, text message, Davis on a text line, voice memo, 610 632-0975. McManus on everything with the Eagles coming up at 8:40. That's coming up next. It is Marks and Salciunas, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phillies win streak snapped. I'm Sean Rodman, and Zach Wheeler had his worst start of the season yesterday. Wheeler went 4 innings but gave up 5 walks, 4 home runs, and 8 earned runs. Over Wheeler's last 5 starts, excluding that rain-shortened one in Baltimore, he has a 9.27 ERA with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. Wheeler was asked postgame if he's dealing with any injuries.
That's why it's so frustrating right now. It's just because I'm on a rough stretch and I feel fine. Got to really dig in. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll sit down and talk, try to get some stuff figured out.
Phils are back in action in Seattle tonight. Aaron Nola is scheduled to start for the Phils and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Makai Lemon and Devontae Smith were back at practice in full yesterday. A good sign for the Eagles, as there is open practice tonight at the link for anyone heading down. That begins at 6 o'clock. And ESPN's Tim McManus joins us at 8:40 on All Things Eagles. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
is Marks and Salciunas with John Marks and Andrew Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic, The Fanatic's YouTube channel, and the Fanatic app.
Hi, good to see you.
All right, we're back. It is Marks and Salciunas on a Tuesday. Today Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday.
Today's
it's
Tuesday.
a Tim McManus Tuesday, man.
It's a Timmy Tuesday on Marks and Salciunas. All right, we have some Eagle stuff, but yesterday, Deshaun Watson, all the talk was that he was going to, even on yesterday's show, it's like, well, what do? If you cut him, you get a dead cap hit of
$120 million.
So I'd said just sit him and don't play him. So instead, they named him the starter.
After he calls out the city, talks about the fans, oh, it's personal. Oh, I don't know why they're booing me. It's because you suck and you're a bit of a creep,
yeah,
dude.
You're a creep.
Like, that's why. It's not like you're a great guy and you've been playing poorly. It's not you're a horrible guy, but you've been playing great. Both you suck at. You're a creep and you stink. And he's shocked that the Cleveland Browns fans aren't thrilled about the 5-year, $220 million guaranteed contract.
Yeah, I mean, like, what did we learn about dead cap? Look what the Dolphins did with Tua.
Oh, yeah.
Close to 100 million. Carson
They'll
Wentz.
figure it out. Yeah.
Remember Carson Wentz? It was like, well, you can't do it because of the dead cap hit. A.J. Brown, June 1st. Did you ever know more about June 1st and spreading the cap hit than with that? These teams can figure it out. The Browns aren't in a position where they're winning anything anyway. They're literally rebuilding again.
Yes.
Right, so what does it matter? And bringing it back and naming him the starter, this reeks of ownership decision.
Yeah. We paid him a bunch of money, make it work. If it doesn't work, all right, fine. There's just 1 year left after this one we'll move on from. I remember totally different circumstances. Alshon Jeffrey, not a creep. But remember when Alshon came back, Travis Fulgham was having like those 100-yard games, and then all of a sudden Alshon Jeffrey was back on the field. The team wasn't going anywhere. They weren't going to win anything that year. And it felt very... All right, Howie is saying, hey, we paid this guy 3 years, blah, blah, blah. He has to play. And it felt very up top decision-wise. It does feel that way with Deshaun Watson. There's no way that Todd Monken, who's trying to build a culture, right? This is his first year as a head coach, period. You think his culture builder is Deshaun Watson?
No.
I don't think so.
And he's got to answer the questions. And it's not like, they don't have a first-round draft pick, but Shedeur Sanders showed you at least a little bit last year to where – like, what are we talking about here? Deshaun Watson comes out and he looks like the Deshaun Watson we saw in Houston.
Well, and here's the other thing. Like, all right, so if Deshaun Watson's 2019 Deshaun Watson, okay, they might win some games. He's not going to be that. They're going to lose. If you're the Cleveland Browns organization, why wouldn't you want to try to figure out if you have something in Shedeur Sanders? Because you're not going to pay Deshaun Watson a second contract. So wouldn't you rather try to figure out if you have something in a guy that was supposed to go in the first, second round, you got him in the 5th round, you might as well try to figure out. And you know what? Worst case scenario, in air quotes, is they suck and they draft another quarterback in the first round next year.
No, you said it. He's not coming back. The minute they can get rid of him, which is probably next year because then they won't care, they're going to. You're not building anything with Deshaun
so what's
Watson.
the point of playing him?
There is no point.
None.
Unless the owner says, I'm paying him $50 million a year. I'm paying him $230 million guaranteed. You're going to put him on the field.
Yeah.
Because, it's not going to be popular with the fans. It's just going to create more division and make the media and the fans even more frustrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Like this is a no-win situation for Cleveland. Like literally no win. You play Shedeur Sanders, you find out, do we have something?
Yeah.
Look, we just had our caller Andy from Deptford. He's talking about how, man, we got so lucky that we got Jalen Hurts in the 2nd round. Could you imagine Cleveland going, man, we got this guy in the 5th round?
Right.
Good for us.
Yeah, he's actually, for a 5th rounder, it's a bargain.
Instead, they're just going to sit him for what reason? Because Deshaun Watson's getting paid. That's why.
What do you got, Petrilli?
Well, I was just going to say, people were craving for Shedeur here in that draft. There's a lot of rumors that the Eagles might have been able to look up and try to just keep building that QB factory behind Jalen. So it's just like, it's interesting to see what it could have been. And Shedeur has gone out there. He's a Pro Bowler, rookie Pro Bowler.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I don't know. This whole situation with the Cleveland Browns is just so Cleveland. And do you think Deshaun Watson gave any tips to like Jed Jerko or Jed York?
Jed York.
Yeah, like Jed York. When he gave him some tips, is that why he got in trouble? Like the guy is just an absolute in a spiral, and he just keeps putting himself further and further and further into it. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So Cleveland Browns fans aren't happy, including this one right here. Do you have it there, Petrilli? Including this one right here. Listen.
Browns have never been accused of being smart, but this morning they may have made their dumbest decision yet. Deshaun Watson has just been named the starting quarterback just days after starting a war with the fan base. And let's be very clear off the bat. Deshaun Watson is getting booed because he's been terrible, because he's been injured, or because he's been injured and terrible at the same time. He's the product of the worst trade in the history of sports. And we mortgaged our future in terms of first-round draft picks, and we gave him the highest guaranteed contract in the sport just for him to be flat out awful. That's why we're booing you, Deshaun. You think if you came in here and won that the Browns fans would boo you? That is delusional, and that alone is why you should not start at quarterback for this team.
Yeah, it's Barstool Tate.
I can't believe they think this is the right decision. And what's the
Well, I mean, that's why. You look at Washington for so many years. Why were the Commanders / Redskins so bad? Starts at the top,
right?
They had a complete creep running the team. Now Jimmy Haslam, who's the owner of the Browns, he's creepish too. So you're never going to win if at the top you're a poorly run organization and you make bad decisions. The owner has made a number of bad decisions, including guaranteeing that contract to Deshaun Watson, and now he hasn't worked out, so now you're going to play him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jerry Jones, it's been 30 years, and part of it is it's not just the Johnny Walker and all the weird things that he says and the glory holes and all these kind of things, right? He also doesn't pay players up front. Jeffrey Lurie does. Jerry Jones is the richest owner in football. And he doesn't act it sometimes except for building the big stadium because that's what he wants to be remembered by. He wants to be remembered as the showman. And he does all this stuff, but it doesn't help the football team, and that's why they've been irrelevant for 30 years.
Yep. Oh, yeah, for sure. They're not going to – the Cowboys fans know it. They're not winning anything with Jer. You would think one of these years they'd get lucky, which is because there's always talent on the team.
There is. That offense is scary this year.
The defense
but you know they're going to come up small.
You know that they're going to come up small.
Yeah.
You do. Whether they make the playoffs or they don't, they're not playing for a Super Bowl this year. Could you imagine if the Cowboys actually made a Super Bowl? No one thinks that. No one has that expectation. That's not even taken seriously with it. All right. Well, there you go. Just to get beat, just be happy that you're not there. For everybody that wants to, not even the Eagles, because no one criticizes the Eagles anymore.
No.
But anybody else, like the Phillies ownership or Joshua Harris, pre-LeBron, this could be your team.
No, right now, we have it good here in terms of the ownership groups. And by the way, I wasn't the biggest Josh Harris hater. I never understood the Josh Harris stuff because he opens his wallet. You know what I mean? As long as you're paying and trying to get something, I'm not looking at him for basketball decisions. I'm just asking for him to open up his wallet. And all 4 owners of this team are doing that.
Yep. All right, Jackie's in Mantua. He wants to talk about Jalen Hurts. Jackie, go ahead. How are you?
Good morning. Good luck with the show, guys. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you, Jackie.
I wanted the call with that said about Jalen's elite qualities. I just want to add to that his selfishness and the way he handles himself. The constant criticism that's somewhat uncalled for. You never hear him say a bad word. He's never been put in any bad light as far as off-field activities or anything. Always holds himself high. And when he was drafted, I was mad. I bet each of my sons $100 that he would never be successful in this league. And I had to pay them $100 because I was wrong. And he has the intangibles, like the Donovan McNabb that I couldn't stand because he would laugh on the sideline as we're losing. And you don't see that with Jalen. So I just don't get this is a prove-it year. Yeah, does he have to do well? Every quarterback every year has to do well. But I don't think it should be the criticism so over the top. I just don't get it.
Jackie, I appreciate it. I agree with you. He is disrespected for sure. But you mentioned the intangibles. He is Captain Intangible. He never mouths off on social media. He never fights with anybody. He's never saying bad things in the press.
Handles this media, handles this city at an elite level.
Unbelievable. Yeah, if Donovan had Jalen's intangibles, they would have won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they would have won too.
Yeah, they would have. You're right. No, I mean, that's really what was stopping him was at least in one of them quarterback play. And Jalen has all of these elite intangibles. Petrolia's captain intangible. Why don't you just do club captain intangible instead of club Hurts?
I mean, what a great call by Jackie there. Jackie, hit us up. Email us at clubhurts1@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram at clubhurts. We got to get you a card.
I can bring it to her house.
Oh, there we go.
I live in that area.
All right. I hand make all of them. I ran out this weekend. I was giving them out all left and right in the Manayunk scene. So I need to go hand make some more. So we'll have to hook Jackie up for sure.
If you were watching the Phillies over the weekend, a gentleman in the first or the second row caught a home run ball wearing a Club Hurts T-shirt. I guess he joined the program yesterday, the Middays.
Oh, yeah. He's a legend. He's my absolute best friend. If I ever see you out and about with a Club Hurts shirt, you know a big 300-pound man is going to come running down and give you a big old hug.
He's your best friend. What's his name?
That's a great question.
That's Millie Petrilli that didn't know.
That's
that's
my
okay.
best friend.
Well, I was DMing with his wife. He's not on socials, so the wife was reaching out.
The fact that he wore a Club Hurts T-shirt to a Phillies game, which, by the way, if you go to the website, visit the pro shop 975thefanatic.com, you can get your
Hell yeah, you can.
Club Hurts T-shirt, and you can also get the Puck Cancer T-shirt to support Jason Martinez. He was on with Colarulo yesterday. I was watching some on TV on NBC Sports Philadelphia. Great to see Jason feeling good, chopping it up.
Damn right, man.
Good show yesterday. All right, coming up next, what do we have? We have morning headlines with Mr. Andrew Salciunas. What do we got?
We have a Harry Hardo high school coach, or should I say former. There's a story where people will feel bad for two people. I'm going to tell you that they're idiots. And there was an attack of an employee at a workplace. And I will then spin it to our workplace, and we will try to figure out who will be the savior and who will be the scaredy cat.
Awesome. All right, that's coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk about your hair for a second. I had someone reach out yesterday on Instagram, DMing me, because my DMs are open. Professionally, you can DM me if you want to just talk about the show or whatever. But if you have specific questions about hair loss, and my team over at Morgenstern Hair Restoration, the best in the business, the most experience, reach out to me. Send me the DM. You can also get my email address if you want to just send an email, johnmarksmedia@gmail.com. But it's all about keeping your hair. It's all about getting your hair back. And when you want to do something like this, you don't want to go to let me try this guy. No, you want to go to a team that has the most experience and the most success because it's an important decision, right? So let's say you're thinning. You want to get your hair back. You want to keep your hair. That's what Morgenstern's Hair are all about. There's so many different ways they do it. Personalized treatment plans for every stage of hair loss, including medications, PRP, exomes, stem cells, hair transplantation, and more. MorgensternHair.com. Morgan with an E. MorgensternHair.com. Let's keep it simple. You want to get your hair back? You want to keep the hair that you have? Morgenstern Hair Restoration. 610-831-HAIR. 610-831-HAIR. MorgensternHair.com.
Text or voice message on the Davis Honda text line at 610-632-0975. Now back to Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour is brought to you by the Bet Parks Online Casino and Sportsbook. Live bet sports on the Bet Parks app and play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the Bet Parks Online Casino and Sportsbook. Must be 21 plus in PA, New Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We're going streaky! Yeah!
Hi, good to see you.
All right, we're back. It is Marks and Salciunas. Tim McManus. 1 hour from now, we'll be on the program, about 8:40, with everything involving the Eagles. Not a ton of storylines, but backup quarterback.
Carson Steele, man, it's your boy.
Yeah, he's not making the team. Even I couldn't make up that he was making the team. Oh, I mean, I hope he makes the practice squad. That'd be cool. We still got another week of Friday night. This might be it.
Oh, dude. Friday night, are you locking in for that one?
Oh, I'll be locked and loaded.
I haven't locked in for a preseason game 1 or 2.
Over-under on how many times he jumps over a player is 1.5 for Carson Steele.
Under. He won't be able to do that.
No? Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to, without further ado, because I don't want to be late. I want to get every morsel and second of this.
Oh, of course. It's one of the greatest segments in the history of Sports Talk Radio, man.
Morning headlines with Andrew Salciunas. What do you got, Tunas?
All right. Well, we're going to start in California. No, not Jed York hiring prostitutes.
Oh, damn.
Not the Dodgers potentially having to sell and then Shohei Ohtani going elsewhere. Not the poop app, where you can find the poop that's all over the streets of California. But we're going to go to the world of high school football, Johnny. It's the summertime. They're getting ready for the start of the season. There was a coach, though, fired before the start of the season. This past Wednesday, a video went viral when Coach Brubaker, Adam Brubaker, the now former head coach of Royal High, kicked a football that was on the ground directly into the nuts of one of his high school student athletes. So let's talk about why, because you might think, oh, he just kicked a random football that was on the ground and it was just bad luck. No. According to reports, Brubaker was having an animated discussion with the player. He was angry at said player, so he on purpose kicked the football directly to the student. But what makes the story even better is the aftermath, because there's a lot of people saying he should be in jail because he assaulted the student. Usually when stuff like this happens, Johnny, a good press conference or a good little report with the media can kind of clear the air. Well, that's not what Brubaker did. Instead, he did not admit fault or sound apologetic. Instead, he said, I did this because he was getting on my nerves. Quote, he's a great kid, but he's intense. We've had at least a dozen conversations about not taking kids to the ground during team drills. It got to the point where I just had enough. So he purposely kicked the football at the kid. Unfortunately, drilled him in the nuts. He said to the reporter, come on, that was a 1 in a million chance. The guy doesn't sound apologetic at all. Apparently, he went to the kid and apologized after practice, but his entire time with the media is, I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to kick him in the nuts. My favorite part of the story is that they went 3-7 last year, and in his previous stop at a different high school, they went 1-9. So the guy's not only a bad dude, he's not even a good coach.
Yeah, you wonder if they were 7-0 if they're still firing him. Probably not.
No, they stink.
All right, so he said it was an accident.
Yeah, he says it was an accident. Whoops.
All right.
That was a 1 in a million chance, man.
He said, I was pissed. I wanted to kick the football all the way to Royal Avenue. Instead, it hits the player. It was an accident. I didn't mean to hit him.
Yeah, kicks the player that he was angry at.
I know.
You mean to tell me you kicked it in his direction and you just accidentally hit him?
So hang on a second. I don't know about your pinpoint control kicking a football. Do you really have accurate aim where you can kick a football and hit somebody in the nuts?
But he's kicking it at the kid.
How far away was he?
Like 5 yards. Oh, this wasn't like he punted it down.
No, I know, but do you honestly think that he was trying to kick him in the nuts?
No, not in the nuts, but I do believe he was trying to kick it at the kid.
All
yeah,
right, that's
absolutely.
Fair.
And
that's
just
fair.
Unfortunately drilled him in the nuts.
Yeah, I coached high school rugby for a few years. Shout out LaSalle. But, like, there's a lot of times it's like the relationships with the kids. You have different relationships now. Now, he might handle this kid with a little bit more, might yell more than, like, a different kid. You kind of handle them differently.
Sure.
Now, this, you got a little too carried away, and like that was one of a big fears. Just like, oh crap, like this actually might backfire on me if I yelled a little bit. Now I wasn't kicking balls at anybody, but now
you don't want to yell at a kid and get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. So like in this situation, if the kid and him were talking about it after the fact and they were cool, you don't go to the press and say that though. You got to say all the right things.
No, you
move
say
on.
nothing.
Yeah, you say nothing or you own it. You don't do the, oh, come on, man, I didn't mean it. All right, this next story is insane.
Well, hold on. What do? Come out and say, yeah, I was trying to hurt him by kicking him? Of course you're going to deny it. What do you want him to say? I would have denied it.
Just say, that's my bad. I'll never happen again. I'm going to take actions. Right? There's such a political way to answer that.
I'm not telling you he answered it the right way, but also, he said it was an accident. I mean, you deny it. You deny you meant to actually hit him.
Sorry, I'll make him run sprints next time instead.
Right, exactly.
All right, what do we got?
All right, this story's insane. These pop up from time to time, Johnny, and I never get angry at the person that's doing the duping. I always wonder, how did you get duped? There's a family in Joinville, Brazil. Are you going anytime soon?
Never been to
Joinville, Brazil?
No.
They wanted to do some good. They wanted to help someone in need. So their route was adopting someone in need of a good home, which is, I respect that. That's a beautiful thing. What I don't really respect is not clearly realizing the mistake that you're making. The family adopted Amanda Marie Souza de Oliveira. Her bio talked about how she was coming from an abusive home and had health conditions and needed a family to show her love and to help her with her health. So, okay, I understand all that. She also said she was 12.
Huh?
The health that she wanted was the Ozempic or the Wegovy, depending on which one you choose from. Before anyone tries to cancel me and saying, how come you're making fun of a fat kid, she wasn't 12, Johnny. She was 38. 38 years old.
Pretending to be 12?
Pretending to be 12. The parents that were adopting her somehow did not realize that this grown woman, if you look at the pictures, she is a grown woman. She has hit puberty. Everything is going on. She is very clearly not 12 years old. They had her for 14 months before realizing something was up because her stories were changing from her previous life. They're like, oh, well, that detail's a little bit different than the time previously. So that was the only reason why they got suspicious. The best part is the family got duped so much. They were posting photos on, like, check out our new daughter. Here she is drinking a bottle. Here she is with the new toys that we got her. She was 38.
I got to see a picture of this chick.
Now she's facing 18 months in prison for, falsing identity.
But truly, don't try it, man. Don't be acting like a teenage boy.
Yeah, no. I mean, I might try Ozempic, but I don't know about being the teenage boy part.
So that's why she was looking for a family. She was looking for somebody to get her weight loss medication.
For health care.
But, I get, you can very clearly tell when somebody is not 12 years old.
Yeah, that's wild.
38.
All right, last one here. What do you got?
All right, did you see what happened at the Barstool offices yesterday?
No.
All right, so somebody got food delivered, and the delivery driver got into an altercation with one of the people at Barstool, and so there was a fight. The driver fought whoever it was. It was somebody from their sales department, and there were a couple of people that came to his aid, but the one part that's really going viral, this guy Tommy Smokes, he's one of the Barstool people, he kind of hid and didn't want to get involved. He kept on pretending. He was just doing the hold me back thing where he'd pretend to get closer and then he would run away. He looked terrified. So my question is, who's the person at the Fanatic that would get in the fight? Who's the person that would have the person's back? And who's the person that would hide?
The person that would hide, Ray?
Yeah, definitely Ray.
I could see Ray as yes, dude. That's a great answer.
Ray, I mean, either Ricky and I would get in the fight.
See, I'm not getting in the fight. I'll have your back, though.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the back guy, but I'm not the guy that's causing the altercation.
Yeah. No, I'm not causing Sean's probably causing the altercation.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Sean would get in there. I would get in there. Ricky. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bill would. I think Bill might be he would hide.
I think you're right.
I think he would hide. He'd be like, yeah, go ahead.
No, you know what? He's Switzerland. He's going to be like, you know what? I understand why that guy attacked. Yeah. That's what he would do.
He'd play both sides.
Yeah.
He would then go and have a conversation with the other guy and be like, yeah, they're wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
The best part with Tommy Smokes there is just how he's on the balls of his feet, kind of jumping up and down a little bit, like he was like so nervous, and he was like ready, but then he would just like back up behind the desk again.
You got to see the video. Like he was. You could tell he was about to pee himself. Like he was scared, and he wasn't even close to the fight.
So he wasn't so much anxiety because he wanted to get involved and kill him. Like he was.
No, he was so like, oh my God, this is happening right now, but I'm not going to defend my guy. That's a bad look on him, man. But you're right. Ray would be the guy that would hide.
How about that? All right, coming up. We'll take some phone calls here. 610-632-0975. Marks and Salciunas. Davis on a text line. Get your text messages in. Get your voice memos in. Tim McManus coming up at 8:40. Coming up next, Zach Wheeler with a hell of a night last night and not in a good way. We will review. It is Marks and Salciunas, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Zach Wheeler had his worst start of the season. I'm Sean Rodman, and Wheeler went 4 innings but gave up 5 walks, 4 home runs, and allowed 8 earned runs over Wheeler's last 5 full starts, excluding a rain-shortened one in Baltimore. He has a 9.27 ERA with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. JT Realmuto was asked post-game if he's ever seen a stretch like this from Wheeler before.
Maybe not quite this long, but definitely I've seen stretches where he hasn't been at his best, but we all struggle with times, and so I think it's one of those. He's going through a tough time right now, but we have all the faith in the world that he's going to come out of it.
Phils are back in action tonight in Seattle. Aaron Nola is scheduled to start for the Phils and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Makai Lemon and Devontae Smith were back in practice in full yesterday, and Eagles have an open practice tonight at the Link. Tickets are $15.40 and will be benefiting the Eagles Autism Foundation. Practice begins at 6. ESPN's Tim McManus will join us at 8:40 on all things Eagles, and this update's been brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule. With real expertise tailored to your needs, make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to Verizon.com/book today. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Marks and Salciunas are live on YouTube right now. Join the chat and give them your thoughts on today's topics. Here again is John and Andrew on 97.5 The Fanatic, YouTube, and the Fanatic app.
All right, we're back. Marks and Salciunas. Someone checked in on the text line. Is that correct there?
Yeah, let's see if I can just do this.
Oh, man.
Ant chimed in. This is a tip of the cap to you. He said Brendan's the only guy that would be beside you in a fight.
Thank you, cuz.
He does not believe that anybody else would.
I appreciate that. Cuz he's my guy.
Not even Ricky Bo.
Well, it depends on what the infraction is. What are we talking about? Because some delivery driver? What did they do again? I didn't even...
So they got Uber Eats.
Right.
And the guy, something happened in the hallway. I don't know if the order was wrong. I don't know if the money. I don't know what happened. But the guy attacked the Barstool employee. Like, he went all up, pushed him in a wall, started beating the crap out of him. And there was 2 people in the sales department that went over and pulled him off. The guy went right back after him. So he must have said something bad. I don't know what the hell happened. But then there was the one guy that was caught on video just like, not
even trying to hold back. Like, it's one thing to square off with the guy, which I wouldn't do, but I have become pretty aggressive recently.
Good.
So check this out. So this has happened a couple times now. On whatever it was over the weekend, I was mowing my lawn Saturday, and I'm almost done because you know what I do is I cut and blow.
Yes.
Right. I cut, whack. I cut, whacked, and blow.
It sounds like a fun Friday night.
Right. So I did. That's what I did. So I was finishing up, and I'm blowing the grass off the sidewalk. And so you get these guys in the neighborhood that drive around that are looking, especially this time of year, to do your driveway.
Yes.
So they want to redo your driveway or whatever. So this is the second time in a couple of weeks where someone has stopped. And I didn't know who it was because I had my AirPods on, and I kind of I heard him, and I turned around like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey, so now he's giving me the sales pitch.
And you're working. Like, you're out in the hot sun.
I have to take my AirPods out. Now, I do need it done on my driveway. Normally, I'd like to do research and look at reviews and have a reputable person rather than some guy that reeks of cigarettes. And then when you look in the car, the guy has no teeth, and he's, like, smiling and waving to me. But anyway, so I'm listening because, I do need the driveway done. So we walk over to the driveway. And then he's giving me the sales pitch, and I'm annoyed by the sales pitch, and he gives me the flyer. And I'm looking at the flyer. I'm like, all right. And I stop him, and I'm like, listen, you're not doing this right now. You're not doing this today. I'm going to Google your company, and if I'm interested, I will call you back.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, sir, listen, what if I made it $500? So now the sales pitch is continuing. And I go, I appreciate it, appreciate the sales pitch, Mike, but I'm not going to do this today. I'm leaving. I'm not going to be around. Sir, in 4 hours, and we do this on airport tarmacs, and he's telling me how great it is. And I'm like, I hear you. I'm like, I'm not doing this today. So then he starts in again. I go, yo, I'm not trying to cut you off and be rude.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in your sales pitch. And he tried again. And that's when I got mouthy a little bit. And that's when he got back in the car. And I'm like, and I said, listen, I understand you're trying to make a living. I appreciate that. I'm like, I am not interested in doing anything today, and the more you talk to me, the less likely there is that I'm going to do business with you.
Yeah, I will go find a different company now because you're getting on my damn nerves.
And this is the second time the same type of contractor tried the same thing with me. This was just a couple weeks ago.
I get that with the solar. Once a week, there's somebody pushing solar in my neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't even they will occasionally come to our door, and they don't get a word out because I know what they are. I'm just like, no, I'm like, not interested, thank you. I'm like, if you're selling something, I'm not interested, thank you. And you will get the occasional person that knows what to say to that or thinks they know what to say to that. I have no interest in that.
Yeah, I will say, I had a door-to-door salesman, and I signed up for something recently.
What was it?
It was an internet carrier, and I was like, wait, your prices are what? And I made the switch.
The net zero?
No. But I switched over. I was like, wait, your prices are what? I had no idea. And I made the switch. It was the first time ever in my life I got the sale from a door-to-door salesman.
Yeah, I've done it, and it's trash.
It's working great.
They had a younger, attractive girl that I wasn't like yelling "F you, go away."
Of course.
I just opened the door, and we were having problems with because we gotta I don't know about you, but we have to pay for our trash and our recycling. It doesn't come with just your taxes and having the township.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, that's how it is up towards us.
Oh, dude, I had no idea that was
when
a thing.
Growing up in Willow Grove, the township, it was part of your taxes. So the township came, you'd have to pay. Yeah. No, I got to pay extra. So the place that we were going, they got sold, and then everybody stopped working for this place. It was reported on the news. They weren't like they weren't showing up for 2 weeks.
Oh,
And we had like a lot of trash or whatever, and then they were being inconsistent. So right around the same time, this other company is just like, so, hey, I'm from such and such, and I knew of the company, and it was cheaper than what I was paying for the company that sucked. So I said, absolutely, I'll sign up right now.
Yeah.
So door-to-door salesperson,
that?
I did it.
It worked. That's great.
Typically, I'm not buying solar or windows because I had guided during windows, and they did a great job with my windows.
Damn right.
So, yeah, I have no interest. But anyway, like I'm not going to tell you I almost fought this guy. I wanted to fight him.
Yeah, because it's annoying, especially you were outside, hot sun. You're working on it. You're working on the lawn. You don't want to be bothered right now, especially when you say stop over and over and over again.
Yeah, no, it was
Just don't stop.
It was me even saying, I appreciate your sales pitch. I understand you're trying to make a living. We're not doing this today.
Yeah.
Right? And then I look in the truck, and the guy has no teeth, and he's like looking at me like waving, like, it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, the pavers are they're something else.
Damn right they are. Hey, by the way, I forgot to mention, headlines, incredible segment that it was brought to us by Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name, Lundy Law. Your injury lawyers, visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com.
I trust Lundy Law. Damn right. If I needed Lundy Law.
Len Lundy.
All right, let's get Chris, and then we'll talk about the Phillies, because Zach Wheeler really got shelled last night. Chris in Nazareth has a story about a football coach, or he's a football coach. What's up, Chris?
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Salciunas, I haven't spoke to you in a long time.
Yo, Chris, what's up, brother? How are you?
Hey, I was enjoying listening to the story about the football coach who kicked the ball at the kid.
What are the odds? I didn't mean to kick him in the nuts. Well, you did, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it happened.
Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but in the state of Pennsylvania, you are now limited to tackling drills. I think it's like 5 minutes. Okay.
Interesting.
Is that right?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is now. I spoke with I live up here in the Lehigh Valley. I went to Easton, and Easton was known for years for being, aggressive defense, tackling, and they would dedicate a couple days a week strictly to tackling and defense. And after the coach retired, I saw him at the store. He told me, he says, how it got to 5 minutes was because of Penn State had a couple of players, the kids that dress up and play football but are never going to see the field, got hurt in a tackling drill. And then their parents sued Penn State saying that, you ruined my kid who'll never be able to be a professional football player, which, was laughable. So what the PIAA did, hey, you know what? We better do something with all these high schools that do these tackling drills.
So
limited
Brendan Petroli's telling me it's 60 minutes a week maximum they can do for the entire week tackling.
For the entire week, yeah.
So you figure it out over the course of 6 days, okay?
Right.
And you're right. It comes up to about 60 minutes.
Yeah, only 3 days total.
Okay.
And you cannot start a practice. You cannot start a practice unless a representative from one of the coordinated health or whatever health medical facilities that comes to your games and your practices.
So do you
is
think?
there.
So do you think this is a bad thing or a good thing, or that's not really what you're saying?
I think the tackling drills it's ridiculous. It really is. Because if you go to watch games, like I go to a lot of high school football every week, I go, and you watch the tackling. The tackling is weak. It's poor. It's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
And really, if you look at tackling over high school, college, and professional football, tackling is a joke. It really is.
Well, Chris, and I'm sorry, I got to run. Thank you. Yeah, so my kids cheer, all three of them. They sideline cheer, so they're with a team. So I'm watching fifth graders, fourth graders.
Yeah.
I'm watching them play football, and because there's lots of practices for all of these things, I'll watch the football practice. And I was watching. I think they were like fourth graders, whatever it was, and they were doing tackling drills, not on another player. They were doing it on like the dummy.
The tire. Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like the dummy, and you see what the kids are doing. They don't want to wrap. They just want to spear or go into it and hit. And you see that a lot in the NFL. Guys aren't doing the fundamental tackling. I don't know enough about it to where with head injuries and things like that, is it the right thing to do as far as hitting or whatever? I have to believe they're trying to protect the kids.
Sure.
And if that's in lieu of them not being great tacklers, then maybe that's what you have to do. I mean, I'm of the age that I never played high school football, but I remember when you would have training camp for Upmoreland High School, the kids would be like, oh, my God, it's so bad. They'd have two-a-days in August, and there was this hill at Uppermoreland that they used to have to run the hill.
Yeah, we had a hill, Clearview Regional High, man.
Dude, and it wasn't uncommon for people to be throwing up.
Yeah.
Because they were like sunstroke, essentially.
Yeah, that's just what football guys do, though.
And you think that they were like, oh, well, you're done for the day?
No.
No, it's like, you don't get water. Get back down at the bottom of that. And we evolve for good reason in a lot. Not everything evolves for good, but
right.
These are one of the things that evolve for good.
Yeah, hydration's necessary. That's good. Like, you know what? That's why soccer now has the hydration break. Powered by Powerade.
I know, because they're really working their ass off out there. Those soccer players.
It has nothing to do with the Powerade advertisement. It has everything to do with their hydration.
But Trilly's probably the type of football player that's like, no, you die before you take a break
drills,
or you drink. Yeah.
That's your warm-up?
Well, yeah. I mean, coaching rugby, like a lot of the times we get kids that play football come and play rugby with us too. And when they go and they try to make a tackle like they're playing football, they realize real quick you can't be doing that. You're going to get yourself hurt and you're going to hurt somebody else. So the biggest thing I think is like these guys have these pads on and these helmets and they just throw their bodies around. When you try to do that in a rugby setting where you don't have any pads at all, you mess your head up, you mess your shoulders up, and they learn quick. Now, I think the NFL started with kind of Pete Carroll back in the day, trying to move to that rap style of tackle, but it's kind of slowly getting into the youth football.
But then they're going to get rid of the rap style because the hip drop tackle guy is getting banned.
True.
Like, it's unbelievable. You can't lead with your head, and I understand why. Now the hip drop tackle is getting banned.
They're going to be playing two-hand touch in 5 years. Okay.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I loved a good Canterbury drill where you're just
Ronnie Lott at when you need him.
Okay.
I used to bring our guys to the Yaka Yard in college. We'd get a good workout in where it's just in a little swamp pit by the field of our rugby field, and we just go to absolute just guys being dudes, tackling, wrapping up, making sure you get to the next phase. Yeah,
well, that's why
good old fashioned.
That's why the cuz said you would be the only one to fight anybody because you're just a dude being a dude.
Oh yeah, we'll get in there all day.
You're dudes on dudes. That's your reputation.
I could hang with those guys. You know, I hang with the Kelseys all the time.
By the way, I follow from Ant. He does believe Ricky would throw hands with somebody, and I agree. Yeah.
Yes, Ricky. I think Ricky would fight somebody for sure. All right, streak's over. Phil's losing to the Mariners last night, 9-2. They weren't going to win every game for the rest of the season. But the concerning thing for a lot of people is you had bad Zach Wheeler last night. Bad Zach.
Again. And that's the concern. It's again. It's not like, again, we had Greg on our YouTube chat earlier. Love you, Greg. Oh, it's just one start.
No,
it's not. It's starting to pile up, man.
Last 5 real starts, ERA over 9. He's walking a ton of people. He had 5 walks last night, which is so unlike Zach Wheeler.
Yeah.
It's not velocity, which is good because it doesn't feel like it's an injury. It's command. But how do you fix that? So he gave up 4 home runs. Can we play the montage? Here's how it sounded last night on Seattle TV. 4 home runs in a game for Zach Wheeler over the course of 4 innings. Not good. Listen.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Laser to left. High.
That was a big one.
Does it have the length? Harper is just staring. It's gone. A rainmaker. Cal Raleigh. And the Mariners hang a 5 spot in the first inning.
5 in the first inning.
3-2. Smoked. Drilled. Cal Raleigh leaves the yard for the second time tonight.
And he went third later.
Oh, Young swats this out to right field. Harper watches it fly out of here.
And that was a line drive.
Cal Raleigh and Cole Young back to back.
That probably didn't get more than 10 feet off the ground the entire time. That was just a laser.
Yeah, they beat up on him yesterday, man. And it's concerning because it's been multiple starts now piled up. And is there any guy that I believe that can fix himself midseason? Yeah, it's Zach Wheeler. But we're getting to a point where we might need to think about the couple weeks off for Zach Wheeler. It worked in 2022.
No. We're at that point.
Well, yeah.
I don't think we're getting to the point, and they're probably going to give him another start, and you don't have anybody else because
Nestor's not ready yet.
Yeah, like he may not be ready. But I'm at a point where it's like, no, I think you should think about it right now. But no, you're right. If it doesn't get better from here, they're going to try that because that's something they've done multiple times in the last 3 years.
And it's worked. And you got it. Thing is, you might want to do that like now because the schedule gets difficult. You got the 4.
That's what I'm saying.
You got the 4 against the Braves. Then you got the Astros. And you got 3 against the Braves. You don't want him missing the Braves starts. You want him missing. I know the Diamondbacks are still there, but you want him missing those starts, not the Braves.
Not the Braves. No, you're absolutely right. No, get him right now.
Yeah.
Figure it out now. So here's Zach Wheeler after the game.
Can you remember feeling like this before a stretch like this where you're just...
It's been a while. To be totally honest with you, and as humble as I can, it's been a while, and it's that's why it's so frustrating. I haven't had a stretch like this in a while, and I just don't really have anything else to say, to be totally honest with you.
So he did say he was healthy because I think Timmy Kelly's out there in Seattle. He said he was healthy.
Yeah.
And the velocity would show that, but so many pitches last night, and this is not like Zach Wheeler, right down the middle of the plate.
Yep, and not much movement at all because usually his fastball, he's got late life. Right?
Yep, he's got the rise.
But it is real. Like his late life on the fastball is a real thing. And he just didn't have any of it, and he hasn't had it, and that's the biggest concern. It's been multiple starts now.
Yep.
Keep on saying, take out the 2 shutout innings against the Orioles before the rain delay. His ERA's over 9.
You know what it kind of looks like? When Painter kept throwing that 98-mile-an-hour fastball that was as straight and flat as anything you've seen, and he was getting crushed. That's how Wheeler's looked when he's been bad, when he's throwing that, because he was throwing 95, 96 pretty consistently last night.
Sure.
So it's not, if the velocity drop, which we saw a couple weeks ago, I would be more concerned. But he's going to figure out the command. So maybe when he says he's going to go back and try to figure it out, maybe that's a mechanical thing. Is he tipping pitches? I don't think he's tipping pitches. I just think he's throwing way too many pitches over the middle of the plate. So here's JT Realmuto after the game talking about the command of Zach Wheeler.
For me, like I said, it's really just the command. This stuff still feels sharp. It's coming out of his hand good. It's just he's getting into some bad counts and then throwing the ball too much in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, throwing a straight fastball 95 down the middle of the plate. Probably not a good thing.
No. And the Mariners, I know they've had a weird year, but like that's still a good lineup. That's a good lineup where you can't make many mistakes against.
Cal Raleigh, he had a 3rd home run in the 9th inning, obviously not off of Wheeler.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they were smashing him last night. So
yeah, if you're looking for any good takeaways from yesterday, another good inning for McFarland.
Another great inning for McFarland.
Because you need him. I mean, look, you need to start seeing if he can pitch in big spots, which he did the other night with Christopher Sanchez.
Friday night he got the win.
Yeah.
Sunday,
that was the whole. They were down 3-0. He did the shutdown inning. He gave them
correct, and then Sunday he won.
Yeah.
Or he pitched well.
But he's look. You need him to.
You need him to be your 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
One of your 8th inning guys.
It's not Kirkering.
No, it can't. No. It's, if you do that, you're in trouble.
It's him or like Brooks Raley, depending on the matchup.
And the problem is that you're going to have to use Kirkering in an 8th inning in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you're going to have to. You can't avoid it. You don't have enough. You don't have enough arms that you're going to be able to do it with. All right. Well, actually, let's give you our Twitter poll. And our Twitter poll is always up thanks to Dr. Avedon Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health. It's the best performing Twitter poll, by the way.
It is, and it's really strong. It's stiff. It's solid. You know, people like it. People say good things about our polls.
They do. And Petrilli, can you give us what the question and results are?
Yeah, our question for today is, what is your level of concern for Wheeler? Very concerned? We've seen this before, or no concerns? We're still leading the way at 60% with very concerned, followed by we've seen this before at 31%, and then 9% with no concern.
All right, so 60% are alarmed.
Yeah, and I am.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
And it's because they don't win with that. Like, they're not going to win. If it comes out today that Zach Wheeler's, this is who he's going to be the rest of the season, they're not winning. I almost cussed. They're not winning anything. Like,
all right, so we've seen this, but we've seen this before.
Sure.
And it hasn't developed into, oh, crap. Because even if he's just okay or he's above average, the Phillies need him to be Zach Wheeler, even if he's not on his A game, he's on his B+ or his A-.
Yeah, and look, they were in the playoffs without him last year, and they were one pitch away, one swing away, one good throw away from beating the Dodgers. So if Zach Wheeler is average Zach Wheeler, which is really good, but if he's average Zach Wheeler, to your point, then you'll still be okay in a playoff series. But for them to beat the Dodgers, for them to win the World Series, he's got to be the ace.
Because was it 2022? He came out of the pen.
Yeah, he did everything.
He did everything.
Yeah,
because he really is that good.
Yeah,
and I feel somewhat. I put up on Facebook. I put something up on Facebook saying that like Zach Wheeler, based on what you said yesterday, is it the best free agent signing in Phillies history?
What were the results?
Well, I didn't look because he gave up 5 runs immediately. I probably put it up at 9:00 at night.
Marks the mush.
Right.
You probably got a Marks the mush.
I didn't look. When I tell you I don't look at what people say to me on social media, I don't look at what people say to me. It's, oh, yeah, I know. It's the rest of you people that want to drive yourself crazy with it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I have YouTube.
Right. That's why you look at YouTube, you look at your mentions and everything else. I had more than one people say to me, but I had a boss say to me, there's no way that you're not looking at your mentions. And I'm like, why is that so hard to believe? People drive me crazy. The last time, and I'm not telling you that I don't see what some people say because it's impossible. But I was sitting in my driveway and my wife and kids were inside waiting for me. And we have cameras so they know when I get home. Fighting with somebody. Literally on Twitter, going back and forth with some idiot.
Yeah.
But I don't even know what. Something that didn't matter.
I don't like Marks.
Right. And I'm arguing because they were so wrong and I was so right. And now I'm going back and forth. I'm like, what am I doing? So I won't do that anymore.
That's good.
Normally.
That's a good mental health decision.
Yeah, I can't even look on Instagram anymore. I can't even look at comments on Instagram because people are such jerks. All right, coming up, Tim McManus on everything. Who is QB number 2? What does the wide receiver position look like? Backup running back. Everything else with the Birds as they have preseason game number 3 coming up on Friday night. Tim McManus, ESPN next. Don't go anywhere. Marks Salciunas.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phil's win streak snapped. I'm Sean Rodman, and it was not a good performance from Zach Wheeler. It was his worst start of the season. Wheeler went 4 innings, but gave up 5 walks, 4 home runs, and 8 earned runs. Over Wheeler's last 5 full starts, he has an ERA over 9 with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. Wheeler was asked postgame if he's dealing with any type of injuries.
That's why it's so frustrating right now. It's just because I'm on a rough stretch and I feel fine. You got to really dig in. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll sit down, talk, try to get some stuff figured out.
Phillies are back in action in Seattle tonight. Aaron Nola scheduled to start for the Phils and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Mekhi Lemon and Devontae Smith were back at practice at full yesterday, which is a good sign for Eagles fans that are heading down to open practice tonight at the Link, which begins at 6 o'clock. ESPN's Tim McManus joins us next, and this update's been brought to you by Verizon Business. Verizon Business experts love small businesses, so they come directly to you on your schedule. With real expertise tailored to your needs, make an appointment with a Verizon Business expert. Go to Verizon.com/book today. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic, and the
place to get your morning Phillies sports fix. Now more Marks and Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, we're back. It is Marks and Salciunas. John Marks, Andrew Salciunas. Tim McManus joins the program in 10 minutes. The great ESPN Eagles reporter. We'll go over everything going on with the Birds, including the backup quarterback situation. 9 o'clock, a brand new game. Andrew Salciunas. It's called NOLA or Not.
Oh, let's go.
We'll explain more of that. And that it's hosted by Brenda Petrilli, or Millie Petrilli, who's producing today.
Yes, sir. It'll be a good time.
Looking forward to it.
All right. So that's coming up at 9 o'clock. But what do you got? You had something here.
Yeah, so I used the lavatory during the commercial break, and I know Austin and Brendan did as well. So I said, all right, I'll give them their space. So I went up to the 5th floor. All right, I just went up one floor.
So was this a number one?
It was a number one.
Okay.
Yeah. I like going up the steps, getting the blood flow a little bit. And so I'm up there. I go to the bathroom. I'm walking out, and there's a new office there. There's always been. This building has had new offices, like,
it's amazing
every 6
how
months.
much money people spend to get their space for what they want, and then they're gone, and then another place does it.
Yeah, it happens often in this building, but whatever. And I saw a guy in his office. So I have two office-related questions for you, Johnny, because we are not real employees. Like, this job isn't real. I don't.
It's not a real job.
It's not a real job.
It's not. I agree.
I don't even know how I'm doing this still. So I see a guy, first, the office, and our offices are the same way now. All open glass. Like, there's no privacy. The old offices, when you used to be here, before you left, because you weren't here when they modernized this place,
I was
right?
not.
When we still had a kitchen and we still had a lot of things that people actually utilized, everybody had the offices where they could actually close the door and have a closed-door meeting, and if it became a shouting match or an animated conversation, people couldn't spy in on you. Would you have the open glass office, or would you want privacy?
Definitely open glass office.
You would go open glass.
Yeah, it looks great.
I hate it.
You hate the open glass look.
I hate it, yeah.
You'd rather have the old wall, and then you have a door.
Yeah, because I've been
I've
been in meetings where somebody's poking their head around to see if, and then the boss goes, all right, come on in.
How many meetings have you been in that you're shouting at each other?
Well, not even that. Like, just you're having a serious conversation about things.
I hear you.
And then you have to do the wave in because now they're standing there awkwardly. Whereas if the door's closed, remember back in the day of if the door's closed?
Yeah, you don't come in.
You don't come, right. Like, why is that now a thing? It's now all over the place. Every building, every office here in this building, all 6 floors, it's open window.
I knew one old sales manager that used to hang a sign up when he was on a call or couldn't talk because they had the open glass doors.
Yeah.
And it's an invite to everybody, even if the door's shut. It's like the door isn't really shut. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I hate it.
But I can't go back to the old wall and then the wooden door.
Give me walls, man.
Come on, man. It's too sleek.
Yeah, give me walls. Now, here's the other thing. That guy, I was able to see into his office because it's just open. Standing desk. Would you be I think you'd be a standing desk guy.
It would just be whatever desk was in there, honestly.
No, he had a regular desk, and then he had the
standing desk.
So he put his laptop up on the standing desk.
No, I'm probably no. I mean, I can see why you would say that because I think there's advantages to doing it. No, I think I would just rather have a traditional desk.
I'd be a stander because I used to stand when I produced. When I produced Ant and even before Ant, Rob and Harry, I was a stander back there.
I stand at the board. No. I would stand at the board.
So wouldn't you do that if you were in a regular office?
Yeah, but like I would stand at the board because I'm involved in the show, and it's easier to hit drops, and it's easier to go over here, and it's easier to go over there. But Truly looks like a sitter when it comes to running the board.
No,
why do you say that?
I want to stand.
Well, he is.
I want to stand, but the camera doesn't go high enough. So like when I'm standing up, the camera doesn't go up, and it's just like half my face is in the screen.
Well, I never had to worry about that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why I'm sitting. I want to stand.
In fact, Andrew, the chair would be wheeled out. I wouldn't even have a chair back there.
Yeah.
No, I never wanted to sit. Unless maybe like there's an interview going on and I'm kind of bored and then you go sit down, whatever. But for the most part, when you have a good show, especially a morning show, like
I want to be up and moving.
Yeah, hitting drops.
But like I just, if I look on YouTube, like I'm like half of my head is out of it. So it's like.
Because then if you sit down, then it changes that angle as well. So they would have to move the camera with you.
Well, the last time Vito was trying to fix it and like move it up, but the camera wouldn't go up any higher. So he's just like, you just got to sit.
Yeah, no,
so
you just got to sit. Now, lastly, if you were a standing desk guy, would you have the treadmill underneath?
No.
I think that's one of the douchiest things.
Like, that's
you
crazy.
could absolutely have.
So
treadmill.
So have you never worked an office job?
No, never. I've been here for 12
You've been
years.
here.
Yeah.
You've never had to do it. I've worked plenty of office jobs, and it's if you ever seen the movie Office Space, it's so true. That was my life for when I worked in Westchester with that was my life.
Yeah,
for sure for a couple of years. But can you do the I'm going to lunch, work out, come back and work? You know how people do that?
I could do that.
They're like, yeah, I'm going to go work out for like 45 minutes. I'm taking an hour. I'm going to go work out for 45 minutes and I'll come back. You could do that?
Yeah, because I can eat lunch while working. Like the whole lunch break thing, which again I've never experienced since when I was working at Chick-fil-A like 15 years ago. The whole lunch break thing, like I can eat while I'm working. I could pick up a phone call and put my food down for a second.
I can't at work. I can't say, okay, I'm leaving. I can leave then go home, but to come back all sweaty and have to get back into work mode, I couldn't do it. I see people do it all the time.
Yeah, I would do it. Well, I would utilize the shower at the gym.
Well, you don't have time to shower. Well, you leave them for 2 hours,
fellas. Just don't work out. You don't got to worry about it. Like that's my thought process behind all this. But yeah, like with Andrew's original point though, like I've worked the desk job here for the last 2 years, doing promotions pretty much, right? And I'm sitting down in my cubicle. Eric Simon, our great promotions director for all the stations, when he has his glass door shut, people still come in and try to like say hi to him. He literally puts a sticky note on there that says Zooming, so people don't knock on the door and try to come in.
Right.
Like
So
it's crazy.
when you guys have your promotion, when you have your meeting, you had it at 10 o'clock yesterday, do people still come in?
People are usually better about that because there's a bunch of us sitting around, so
Right.
you know. But like if Eric or I are just sitting down there, salespeople are just like, "Hey, Brendan, knock knock." I'm like, I'm working right now.
No, but then it also opens the door to hijinks. Like there are times when I used to be sitting in offices with the previous program director, and Ricky would walk by.
Yeah.
The program director's back was to the glass, so he didn't see what was going on. And then there's Ricky flipping the bird. Ricky's doing stupid stuff. And
You're bringing up a lot of good points why the glass.
The open glass, it's so modern. It's stupid.
Well, especially with Ricky, who doesn't understand, like, just leave him alone. He's got to come in and be the juvenile. No, you know what? I still want it because it looks great, but you're so right how distracting it is.
So Doc Brody on YouTube goes, Andrew's too young. He has no memory of how dark and dank offices were with walls and no glass. If you didn't have a window office, you go all day without seeing daylight. I get it. Like, I by the way, I used to work here when there were dark and dank
there was
offices.
cubicles.
Yeah, the cubicles and everything. I'm just saying it's everything else. So when you have the open glass policy, it allows for everyone to just stare at you all day.
Yeah, 100%.
Like you're like a zoo animal.
Even like the window here, like in the studio, you know, people kind of walk by and look at you guys. You know,
this right here, yeah. It's well, at least we're entertainers.
Yeah.
I've seen Casey Boy's ass because of
That's
it.
exactly what I was going to say.
We all have. Yes, unfortunately, we all have. All right, well, there you go. Everybody out there that works in an office can relate to all these things. But I mean, we don't even have like you had said before, we used to have the kitchen down here, which had a refrigerator, which had a microwave, which had a coffee maker, means if I wanted to go out there and eat a lean cuisine for lunch, I'd be able to pop it in and have enough time to cook it and then start eating it.
Were you ever a food stealer?
No, I don't want to touch anybody else's food. No, that refrigerator was disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, it's
back in the day. But now you have to run down the hall, and it's not just down the hall. It's down the hall. If I wanted to go to MMR during a break, I could probably get coffee and get back in plenty of time.
But it had to be the long break.
But if there's no coffee made, I can't do it.
Right.
And you don't know if there's going to be coffee made down there. Yeah, exactly. Well, we used to have a kitchen here. Were you here with a kitchen here, Petrilli?
Nah, just whatever we have right now is what it's been since I've been here.
Well, it's a lactation room.
Yeah.
Which is needed.
Yes.
And I support that.
Absolutely.
But there used to be a conference room behind the lactation room, which was a better conference room because it was all the way at the end. So if you wanted to get to the conference room, you weren't walking by it and distracting people. You needed to seek out the conference room.
Right.
Now you walk past it, and it's hard not to. I don't know.
Now you want to stare.
And in the lactation room, we do have a sink, but I don't even know if it's hooked up to anything.
No, it's not.
I don't think you should pour anything down the drain. Like, it'll just go right to the bottom. Like,
no, the drain works, but it doesn't have water.
Water, yeah.
That's what I've been told, at least. All right, Tim McManus joins us coming up here. Let me know when he is in the Zoom there, Petrilli. But the Eagles have, and by the way, Austin said that when he was selling tickets for the Devils, the Jersey Devils, he got an hour lunch. He'd do a 45-minute workout.
Yeah. And then you quickly
shower and get back. But how do you do that?
Well, if it's all in the facility, like there's a gym downstairs.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like you're going home and you only have so much time. You go downstairs.
All right. Well, if there's one in the facility, then you could get it done.
Yeah.
But if you have to drive to LA Fitness, which is 10 minutes, like there's an LA Fitness over here still, right?
Yeah, there is. It's something different now. Sporta, I forget which company it is now. They change every 5 minutes.
Yeah, you ever hear me tell the story of a former producer here at the station?
I've heard you. Yeah.
He was board op in a Villanova game, and with the Villanova game, the only thing you have to play, you don't have to play commercials. Everything is produced in it. So you just pretty much hit the button on, and then you're waiting to hit the legal ID once an hour when they go to it.
Yep.
The problem was if the line dropped, then you would have to reconnect the line. A lot of people probably don't know who it is because this was very early on in the 950 days. But he went over to LA Fitness here in Bala Cynwyd, Petrilli, and he was working out. So he would put on the Villanova game because he didn't have to do anything other than play the legal ID once an hour. And even if he missed that, unless someone heard it, I don't think anybody really cared.
I mean, when I was doing like baseball games that we would play overnight and like the football games on the weekends, I've always like taking walks around. Like I know I have like a half hour. Yeah. Check out what's in the fridges, like what's left over on the weekend.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, well, we've done okay.
Well, Harbaugh, so he was working out and he gets a frantic phone call from somebody. Where are you? We're off the air because the line dropped. So he had to go from just to get out and get in. That's 10 minutes, right?
Sorry, I'm marking up my traps.
Right. And he runs up here, and then he claimed that he's like, I was in the bathroom. I had a stomachache. Yeah. So he blamed having to go to the bathroom. Anyway. All right, well, Tim McManus would have never done that as a producer here at 97.5 The Fanatic. And he joins us right now, the great ESPN Eagles reporter. He joins us live on Zoom. What's up, Timmy?
Actually, I came pretty close to getting fired as a producer very early in my time at 950. So I was doing one of those, it was like the late night, and I had to transfer it over to overnight where it was automatically automated run. And so I panicked. I didn't know what to do. So I took all of the pots on the board and I put them down. I was like, do I keep them up or do I put them down? I don't know. It was like, I had very little training. I was like the first week on the job. And so I woke up to an email the next morning that said Saturday morning silence from one of the engineers.
Oh, boy.
No.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
now, see, I don't blame you. I blame who was in charge of you. He'll remain nameless, who had no idea what he was doing as far as the technical aspect of the job. So, anyway. Yeah, probably not the right move to pot all the channels down there, Timmy.
Yeah, I learned from that. We got better as we went on, Johnny Marks.
All right. Listen, lot to get to here. Let's start with the backup quarterback situation, which I consider weird. I don't really know what the Eagles were thinking going in with what they were trying to do. So what were they trying to do, and how do you think this plays out?
I'm trying to wrap my head around it, too, and also trying to find a path where this ends up being like a good experiment. Like, what's the good outcome at this point for having Andy Dalton come in to camp? I mean, he hasn't been the better quarterback. He started out a little better ahead of Tanner McKee, but that's to be expected because he has run this system before, and McKee hasn't. But you've limited both of their reps. So they've been splitting all summer long, which means nobody, whoever becomes the number two, has gotten the full complement of reps that you normally would in a training camp situation. And by the way, you're learning a brand new system. So this seems like it's been detrimental to Tanner McKee. I don't know if it's dinged his confidence at all, but I can imagine the arrow's always been pointing up for him, right, since he's been drafted here. It's always been, we're really high on Tanner McKee. He's elevated up. Gets the number two spot, and now he's in this position where it said, no, we're gonna trade for Andy Dalton. You're gonna learn the new system, and we're not gonna give you that kind of commitment that you're the two. I don't know that that's been good for him, but he's been the better player, guys. Yeah. So I don't think that you can justify at this point saying we're gonna keep Andy Dalton. So I just don't. I don't see why people would be on board with that.
Did it feel like they were trying to showcase him for a potential trade, or to me, here's what I think they said. Maybe we can trade McKee and Andy Dalton's the backup. Because honestly, I'd rather have Andy Dalton as the backup quarterback if we're talking about just this year. But McKee's not under contract this year. I don't like you said. I'm still trying to figure out what the Eagles are doing. But it just felt like when I watched preseason game number 2, it's almost like they were like, hey, go out there and shine, and who knows, maybe somebody will give us a 5th-round draft pick for him.
Yeah, there's some people around the league who had the theory, at least, that you brought in Dalton so that you had your quarterback group set, so then you could go out, and if you wanted to draft somebody, then it wouldn't be telegraphed. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So it's like, you signal to the rest of the league, we're not going out, we're not getting a quarterback, we're all set, and then they were able to slide in and get Cole Payton in the 5th round. I can't say for sure that's what they were doing, but there's no real theory that totally adds up. And if you're showcasing Dalton, Johnny Marks, with the second stringers, what does that mean? It means you're exposing Tanner McKee with the third string lineman. That's not great either. So I don't really like the way they've gone about this. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but I think at some point you just have to be like, all right, we've seen enough. McKee's the number 2, and let's move on.
Tim McManus, I'm on this Twitter account. It's labeled @Tim_McManus. You may know what that is. Mekhi Lemon, the footwork that you posted yesterday, that video is just absolutely beautiful. Unfortunately, we've barely seen it because he's been hurt pretty much all of camp. Going into his rookie season with everything that he's dealt with so far in training camp and mini camp at OTAs, what are your reasonable expectations for Lemon? Because he's not looked at as the number 1 wide receiver. I don't even know what he's looked at this point.
Yeah, coming in, fair or not, Andrew, the expectations were that he was going to be probably the number 2 pass catcher behind Devontae Smith. And then, of course, he has the hamstring injury, and then he re-aggravates it. And he confirmed to us yesterday that it is the same hamstring. He was talking about how he needs to be more professional off the field, but wouldn't really elaborate on what that meant. But he re-aggravated that hamstring, and then he comes in. And when he is on the field, you can see that footwork as an example. That kind of looks like Devontae's footwork.
Yeah.
There's not many people who can shuffle their feet like that in those cone drills. And so you understand the short burst, area quickness. And every time he does get on the field, they throw him right back in with the first team as the slot receiver. Sean Mannion loves the idea, based on what he's shown us, of having him in motion almost constantly. And I think he's going to be kind of the over-the-middle, short area catches and create after the catch. But because he's missed all this time, I would say probably a fair expectation is to slot him in as the number 3 producing wide receiver behind Devontae Smith and Dontavian Wicks, who for the most part has had a really nice camp.
Tim McManus, ESPN, joins us. Carson Steele, one of the most memorable Eagles training camp players in recent memory, or has a legitimate shot to make the roster?
I think that Mannion has not been showing fullback looks purposefully. I think he wants to use a fullback in this offense. So I think there's going to be a fullback on this team. And then I guess it becomes a matter of, is that Cam Latu or is that Carson Steele? Steele has, I don't know how much more you can do in terms of showcasing yourself in a limited capacity like he's done. He's doing the hurdles, he's doing the whole thing. And I think that this offense could at times benefit from a fullback. So I think he's got a better chance than maybe initial expectations here of making a team.
And he does look like that old West Coast style fullback, the Tom Rathmans, the Kevin Turner here in Philadelphia, where they were really good receiving fullbacks. They didn't get a lot of carries. But whenever Steele has carried the ball with the Chiefs or the Eagles, he's never getting a lot of yards. He doesn't get a lot of yards per carry, but he is pretty good out of the backfield. So that would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think that's the element that he brings that Latu doesn't. I think you could do more with Steele from a versatility standpoint than you probably could with Latu. And I also think, I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself, but I also think that Willie Lampkin could give you a little something in terms of an extra tight end, or line him up in the backfield. Do something creative with that guy. Let's go. Let's get a little refrigerator Perry action happening there with Willie Lampkin. And that's not just a me thought. I've heard that from the inside, that, you know what? We could probably get creative with Willie Lampkin.
All right, last thing. I love that, Tim. But I'm looking at your projected depth chart, your projected 53-man roster on ESPN.com. You have 6 wide receivers. I'm going to ask this question. Is it because they have 6 good ones, or it's because they couldn't figure out who the 4th best guy is?
It was mostly an Elijah Moore thing for me.
Yeah.
I had a tough time keeping him off because in training camp, Hurts targets him all the time. like all the time, including yesterday. You know, he had 5-6 catches, and it was an hour of practice.
Right.
So, you know, it feels like there's a comfort level there. I do think that they have decent depth. Like if Hollywood Brown is your number 5, call it, or something like that, like that's not bad. You know, they're obviously not as good at the top without A.J. Brown, but it was mostly because, keeping 6 for me, it was like, I just don't know how they end up cutting Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I think the lack of a true identifiable number 2 outside of Wicks almost means like you have to keep the extra wide receiver. Because it may be, Tim, by week 5, it might be the first rounder that's getting more catches than Elijah Moore. So, but I don't know where they're going to end up costing somebody a roster spot. Maybe it's an extra offensive lineman, but yeah, you're going to keep more wide receivers than typically you would in another year.
No, I think it's a great point because Lemon, he just hasn't shown it to you yet. He hasn't shown that he can stay healthy. He hasn't shown exactly what it's going to look like between he and Hurts. So does he need time to develop? And if that's the case, who's going to be your slot receiver? And so that's all the more reason to keep somebody like Moore on the roster.
Yeah, this answer you gave on Carson Steele feels like an informed opinion.
Hell yeah,
on me there, Timmy Mack, and you got me going.
He's the Ben Van Sumeren of the 2026 Eagles, man. Is he going to play linebacker too?
I don't know about that.
He can do it all.
Yeah,
I do like that idea, though. I do like the idea of them having a little extra something in the backfield to create these holes with. This is going to be a running team, boys. This is going to be a running team. This is going to be a physical team. And, so all the weapons you can get, the better, right?
All right, so Willie Lampkin, I got to circle back to him for a second. Is he 5'10"? Because I know, my listed height's 5'10". I'm sure as hell not 5'10".
He's shorter than 5'10".
Right, but everybody says this dude can be a starting offensive lineman. Is he the first guy off the bench if one of these interior guys go down?
I think Drew Kendall is probably the first one off the bench, but I think Lampkin is like right there. I don't think he's 5'11". I don't look at Willie Lampkin like, yeah, it's 5'11". He's smaller than that, but man, is he creating buzz from people inside the building. Like there are conversations being had on the side of the field now where people are coming off and approaching media and just like talking about him out of nowhere. And that doesn't happen with every player. It doesn't happen every summer. But it's happening now. Like the buzz is not just like a media created thing with Willie Lampkin. It's something that they're feeling in there. So he's absolutely making the team. And I feel like if he's not the first man off, he's the second.
Yeah. Friday night is how they're going to situate the quarterbacks. How they're going to play. You think Mekhi Lemon's going to get some reps? How do you think that plays out?
I would imagine they put Lemon in there for a little bit just because he hasn't played at all. There's always that balancing act. It's like, you don't want to get him hurt again, and you want him ready for the regular season, but he's got to have time on task in this new offense. So I think that they'll play Lemon a little bit. The quarterbacks, I feel like, will mostly be the Cole Payton show, even though Mannion said yesterday, like, we need all this time to evaluate these two quarterbacks. It's going back to the original point. Like, I don't know what they're doing. Like, what else do you need to see, at this point? So I think it's going to be mostly Cole Payton and, sort of an uninspired third preseason game.
I can't wait.
Normally are.
True football guys love it, Tim.
Yeah, Timmy, you're the best. So this is every Tuesday at 8:40. Tim McManus joins us going ahead into the football season. He's working hard for you.
Damn right he is.
Salciunas, Tim McManus. Thanks, Tim. Talk to you next week.
Love it, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, there he is, the best. Tim McManus. Listen, we got to get a Carson Steele group going here. Petrilli, can you help with this? Just give me a thumbs up.
The Steel Curtain.
Never been used before that nickname.
New.
Hey, I'm all in, and I even want my fellow rugby guy Josh. Were you? Yeah. I want him in there too. He's rushing the passer. Maybe give him a couple handoffs at fullback. If we're getting crazy, let's just keep it rolling.
I'm more captivated that Sean Robin just put the headphones on for you.
Yeah,
you got a headphone guy in there.
Yeah, it's teamwork back here. If Willie Lampkin's gonna go play fullback, Robin can hand me off the headphones.
And football coaches have the pullback guy. You got the headphone guy. Robin's throwing them on for you. That's great.
And I'm a tie guy. Ty Robinson. I'm a tie guy. Well, you wait till Gary Barbera has Ty Robinson on there and be like, we're tie guys.
You can make some tie-dye shirts.
Tie guy. Coming up, a new game that we're debuting. It's called NOLA or Not. We'll explain what that is. Brendan Petrilli's hosting that. That's coming up next. Also, apparently Herb got suspended from calling when he called in the other day. Got him suspended from the other station.
Love it.
We'll talk to her. That's all coming up. It is Marks and Salciunas, 97.5.
All right, baseball season. It's in full swing. We're counting down the games till the playoffs. Well, there's no better place to be a part of the action than on Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market. And you can still put in your trades on whether or not you think the Titans make the playoffs. I told you to do it when they were at 40%. Now they're at 92%. So it might not be worth putting that down right now. So here's other ways where you can do some trade to get some money. Today, 49% chance to win today's game against Seattle. So they're not the higher percentage in terms of probability. 49%, you put a $100 trade on a 49%. Payout would be $196. But something else that caught my eye, to win the whole thing, right? Titans, 7% chance. $100 trade pays out $1,396. I get that we are fans of the Titans, but money is money. Right now, LA down to 33% due to their recent losing. $100 trade pays out $280. Just saying. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Download the Kalshi app and use code Fanatic to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, K-A-L-S-H-I. Kalshi, trade on anything. You can be 18 plus. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Zach Wheeler had his worst start of the season. I'm Sean Rodman, and Wheeler went 4 innings but gave up 5 walks, 4 home runs, and allowed 8 earned runs. Over Wheeler's last 5 full starts, excluding a rain-shortened one back in Baltimore, he has an ERA over 9 with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. JT Realmuto was asked post-game if he's ever seen a stretch like this from Wheeler before.
Maybe not quite this long, but definitely I've seen stretches where he hasn't been at his best, but we all struggle with times, and so I think it's one of those, he's going through a tough time right now, but we have all the faith in the world he's going to come out of it.
We'll see if he can't come out of it in his next start. Phils are back in action tonight in Seattle. Aaron Nola is scheduled to start for the Phils and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Makai Lemon and Devontae Smith were back at practice in full yesterday. We'll see if they're back at practice tonight, which is an open practice at the Link. Tickets are $15.40 and will benefit the Eagles Autism Foundation. Practice begins at 6. And in case you missed ESPN's Tim McManus, he joined us just moments ago. You can go watch back on YouTube or listen to the podcast later today. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
and Salciunas with John Marks and Andrew Salciunas on 97.5 The Fanatic, The Fanatic's YouTube channel, and the Fanatic app.
All right, we're back. It is Marks and Salciunas on a Tuesday. Good morning, everybody. We're going to play NOLA or not coming up next. Hang on. Doesn't it feel like it's September more than August?
Yes.
I've woken up in the last week a number of times to, wow, it feels like you had said it yesterday. It feels like football weather.
No, the weather was great. That's the beauty of the 4 o'clock wake up. There's not many beauties of the 4 o'clock wake up, but like you get the first sense of fall because then it's still hot come afternoon. Like I was sweating them off yesterday mowing the lawn.
Yeah, no, that's why I love September weather. It still gets sunny. It still gets warm.
Yeah.
But, it's football weather, cuz.
Yeah, I know. But I do feel like there's going to be a game this weekend. Football season's going to be very busy.
Football.
Very, very busy for me. I'm looking forward to it. I got some stuff that I can't announce just yet, but I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot of cool things on the horizon. But I feel like it's going to be this week, and it's not. It's only August 25th.
Correct. Yeah, well, really, we're in the last week of August, so you're right.
Right.
It's week 0, college football starts.
Yes, it is.
So it is football weather.
What's the big week 0 game that we got this year?
I forget.
Let's see here. I have the Saturday slate, August 29th. Let's see which one you're locked into. ESPN, the first game, noon kickoff. Bill Belichick, his 25-year-old girlfriend, and the North Carolina Tar Heels are at TCU.
Oh, I can't get enough of that.
The Jets that fighting Jalen Reagors.
Yeah, and didn't they play last year? No. Then is TCU now in the?
I think they're in the same conference.
In the ACC, yeah. Because I remember watching them last year.
The game's in Ireland.
That's right.
Because they're starting off overseas now.
I can't get enough of Bill Belichick.
Oh, I love it.
I want to watch him win 4 games again this year.
Well, they were 1 off from being bowl eligible last year.
So they had 5 wins.
But they lost players because people were like, this is weird here. So they didn't. I think they thought he was going to be like this big recruiter. A lot of people left. Then you had what's-his-face, Lombardi.
Who got suspended, so he's not around anymore.
Yes, there's a lot going on at UNC.
Part of the problem was last year in Belichick's defense, they had to add so many players and late. They essentially turned over their entire roster. And it's not about recruiting anymore, especially at a school like that. You need transfer quarter unless you're able to be one of the big schools that gets the quarterbacks, the big prospect quarterbacks.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're using the transfer portal year to year, and that's why you need deep pockets from Carolina donors. Carolina donors aren't happy with Belichick.
No, there's enough. There's a lot going on that they don't want their money tied up in it. San Jose State, USC. So you do have 1 ranked team playing week 0, USC. Last year there was a couple good games on week 0. This year it's crap. Sacramento State versus Eastern Michigan.
Well, I don't want that. But I like the other 2 you named.
Yeah, NC State, Virginia. Like it's games that you know.
Games at USC.
USC, yeah.
Yeah, the game's at the Coliseum, which is fun to watch just in general.
Tickets as low as $14.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. A lot of tickets in there.
Go ahead.
I got Memphis UNLV highlighted on my calendar.
Yeah,
10 p.m. Saturday night. I'm going to be in Atlantic City with the boys. That's got action written all over it right there.
Yeah, but I need that. I need a 3 o'clock game to pop, man. Like it's the first Saturday. It's week 0.
Well, no, you need a good 12 o'clock game. Kevin Kincaid had written about this on Crossing Broad.
Just about to bring him up.
He said that Philadelphia's the worst college football town in America, and I don't
wrong.
I don't even think it's a criticism. We have so many other things going on. I'm a huge college football fan. People that are huge college football fans are huge college football fans. We're not in SEC country. We're not in ACC country.
Right. It's also, I think, how you grow up. Like, my dad hates college football still to this day.
Yeah, my dad
the only college football he likes is going to a Temple game with his son. Like, that's the only time he likes it. So, I didn't grow up in a college football. Saturdays was yard work day. Saturdays was, all right, son, let's go.
Yeah, go to rake some leaves.
Spread some mulch and do all this kind of stuff. So I didn't really get into college football until I went to Temple because they were good. I couldn't imagine if Temple sucked. Would I have been into college football at that point? Probably not.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I never. So
now I love it.
When I went to school in Hawaii, it was June Jones and those good teams that they had out there. Now they're actually a little bit better. Timmy Chang, he just got a contract extension for the Warriors. But
that was an Eagle training camp.
They had, he had a big college career, but he's kind of turned the program around. But they haven't been good for years. But that's the one team I actually follow and identify with, is University of Hawaii. So I went to a number of games. Yeah. I went to an Alabama game. This would have been in 2003, I think, before Nick Saban was hired. It was David Shula as the coach.
Okay.
So when you get teams that come from the mainland, if they're like non-conference teams, like Alabama scheduled a game in Hawaii, there was Alabama fans everywhere. You were getting the Roll Tide in the stadium like it was a home game for Alabama.
Alabama sports trips.
I had never heard the Roll Tide thing in person, or at least I was just surprised, like, wow, what's this? It's Roll Tide. Hawaii beat them. I think beat them pretty bad because Bama was bad under David Shula and Hawaii was good under June Jones.
Yeah.
But the years with Temple and Matt Rule, I really like Matt Rule, so I like those Temple teams. Even though I hate Penn State, I still follow Penn State pretty closely. I'm rooting for him with Rocco Beck this year.
Yeah, except for week 1, man.
Against Temple?
When Temple takes them down.
Oh, no,
the link.
I'm rooting for Penn State.
How dare you? I will be in attendance that day.
Is that a controversial take? I went to Temple.
Yes.
But I'm rooting for Penn State over Temple?
Yeah, because then everyone's going to call you that you just went to Temple because it was your fallback school.
Well, I was also in my late 20s, and I wanted to get in the media, so I left Hawaii to come here because I'm like, oh, no, like fallback. See, that's what people like the Villanova and the Penn State people all say the same thing.
Yeah,
They're like,
their noses up in the air.
You went to Temple because you couldn't get into Penn State.
Noses are up in the air, too.
Well, by the way, they're right. I would have never gotten into Penn State.
They're doing this. Oh, it smells like flowers.
I never applied. See, even saying I'm going to root for Penn State over Temple when they play, I still can't help but rip Penn State. Because, and you know why? Because I didn't want to go to Penn State because I knew I wasn't smart enough or had the grades to go to Penn State. So why would I apply to Penn State when I know they would never accept me? I wouldn't go to Villanova for obvious other reasons other than the same thing.
Did you apply to One Reach school?
No, I went to community college.
I applied to One Reach, and I knew American. There was no way I was getting to American. Yeah. Because they have a good journalistic program.
I went to Monco. I never applied. I didn't apply to a college until I was 26 years old or 25 years old when I moved to Hawaii. So I never thought about going away to college or whatever. I went to Monco like 5 separate times. I went to CCP, which was amazing at CCP. Wait! I lived in Fairmount, and I was taking some classes because I wanted to go away to school. And
sure.
I did 2 semesters of like 3 classes each semester, and I killed it with grades. And they're like, "Yeah, we'll take you, sure." That's how it happened. But no, I never had anything. So
I didn't get into Temple. I was trying to go pre-med when I was coming into college, and they just said, "Yeah, this guy's
pre-med."
Yeah, this guy's 2.8 GPA. He's not good enough for Temple.
I talked to him about this when we were in Baltimore. BP and I went down with Philly sports trips to watch the Phillies. We saved the season. If you remember, by the way, we did save the season. That was the goal. The season turned around after that trip.
He's still claiming it. Yeah.
But he told me that he was going to school for pre-med. I was like, what? I know you.
You know what that is?
Dr. Petrelli?
You're LaSalle or Prep? I don't remember.
What, LaSalle?
Yes, he's LaSalle. So he's been built up to, you have to do this because you went to LaSalle.
Yeah.
We spent all this money, you went to LaSalle. Anybody with eyes and a brain would know that Petrelli's not going to be a doctor.
Paging Dr. Petrelli.
Yeah,
Paging Dr. Petrelli.
I was looking more the physical therapy, chiropractic route where, like, I wanted to still be involved with sports. You know?
You're just going to sit on their backs or something?
Exactly. Crack it, bend no.
Instead, you went to Susquehanna and majored in beer pong.
Yeah, well, exactly. I did pre-med there, too, to start, but then I almost failed out after 2 years and switched to the radio, and, hey, look where we are.
What frat were you in?
Well, I wasn't in a frat. I played rugby. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's the same thing.
Yeah, same
the
thing.
Rugby house.
Yeah, I would have been in TKE probably. That's all my buddies were in it. So like I didn't have to be in. I just would just show up.
All right. Most likely other than Petrilli for being in a fraternity.
Bill Colarulo.
Bill is the fraternity guy?
Oh, yeah, dude. But like definitely
football guys.
A bougie fraternity guy.
Yeah, no, he was the Penn State house that had like the professional chef where Pablo Plejskabar lived. Yeah. That's where Bill goes.
Yeah, no, my buddy that I went to high school with, he lived in one of those houses where they had the house mom that was a paid employee.
Yeah.
That cooked meals and straightened up.
Yeah, Bill, absolutely. Connor, but
Connor's at Temple. There's
I don't know
illegal
if
things being done in the fraternity house.
I don't know if there was a frat at Washington College of Maryland, though.
Maybe not.
Probably not.
What about Brace?
Yeah.
Well, let's just imagine if he actually went to a 4-year school.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's the pledge master.
Were you in a frat?
He was in a fraternity.
Yeah, Connor was a lock.
Oh, no, he was like it's like, oh, man, who's going to be the pledge master? Me.
Yeah.
Connor Thomas, pledge master. Brace would have been, like, my buddies were at I won't even say the fraternity, but they were, I mean, some of the things I saw at these fraternity parties over the years, man, it's like I can't believe that's what kids were doing.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Penn State fraternity culture is bad. And I'm not saying they're all bad, but my experience, which granted was a long time ago, but then there were some other incidents semi-recently. Like, who was the kid that was that got killed because he was pledging? It was tragic. They literally just left him, and he just died. He had internal injuries, and he just died. And no one wanted him to die, but still, I don't know if it's changed since then, but, man, like, it is – if you want to fail out of college and you have that type of personality, join a fraternity.
Yeah, good luck.
Because you'll fail out of college. I would have failed out of college. I did anyway.
I almost did playing rugby.
Monco. Not because of booze. All right, Petrilli, what do we got? What is the name of this game?
Is it NOLA?
Swing and a miss. He got him.
Or not?
That ball is crushed.
That's awesome.
So, fellas, so I think the intro kind of gives it away a little bit here. Aaron Nola has had a very polarizing career here in Philadelphia, right? He's had his really, really good moments. He's had his bad moments. And Aaron Nola's on a hot streak right now, and I think he deserves some love. And this game, I kind of wanted to, when I was looking at it, since he's been in the league since 2015, Aaron Nola is up there with some of the all-time greats that we think are Hall of Famers that are active right now. And looking at the numbers, we're going to get to it in a second here. You'll be surprised how high on some of these lists that Aaron Nola is. So.
All right, well, don't get away. Cy Nola, by the way, on the mound tonight for your Philadelphia Phillies.
We need to shut down.
All right, so you're going to do what, and then what do we have to do?
So I got my little handy-dandy bag here, Peace, Love, and Pierre Robert. I got a bunch of little slips and cutouts in here that I'm going to pull one out, and we'll go with the first one here.
All right, pull it out.
So it's the most wins since 2015. I'm going to give you 3 guys that are on the list and I'm going to tell you where they're placed, right? And then you're going to let me know which one is Aaron Nola.
Okay.
So for the first one, is Aaron Nola have the 5th most wins with 114? Is he 13th with 105 wins? Or is he 14th with 102? Which guy is Aaron Nola? Is he 5th in all-time wins since 2015?
All right, I got you.
Is he 13th or is he 14th?
I'm always a middleman. 13th.
Andrew goes 13th.
114 wins is what I'll say.
114. Ding, ding, ding. That is Aaron Nola. He has 114 wins, putting him 5th all time. The other 2 guys that we mentioned with 105 is Zach Wheeler.
Okay.
Wow. And then 102 is Zach Greinke.
Now, can we get wins over the last 2 seasons as the next next category?
One. Yeah. So I think it was a little bit interesting to put in perspective where Zach Wheeler has been on an absolute hot streak, but he also has been banged up a lot. And then Zach Greinke for what he was as an absolute.
All right, Nola or not? Give us another one.
Next one, we go into the bag, and it is shutouts. The most shutouts since 2015. Does Aaron Nola have the 2nd most with 5? Is he tied for 3rd with 4? Or is he tied for 5th with 2?
See, what you should do is ask us how many. As opposed to doing 5, because what do I care if it's 5, 4, or 2?
Yeah.
Well, for my thing, I was kind of you'll see here.
All right, he's got 5.
I got 4.
He's got 4. Aaron Nola's got 4. So the point of me doing that is Jacob deGrom only has 2 career shutouts since 2015.
Because his arm falls off every other start.
But he was so dominant for how good he was in his peak. I was really surprised that he only had 2.
Yeah, because they lose 1-0. He'd go 9 innings, allow 1 run on 2 hits, and the Mets would lose a ball game.
All right, next one here. We'll go with a negative stat here for Nola because he is up and down. Is Aaron Nola first on the list with 130 losses? Is he 3rd with 98 losses? Or is he 7th with 82 losses? Most losses since 27.
Whatever you
since
said, the most one. Whatever you said.
Third. I'll go with the second.
The first guy is Patrick Corbin with 130 losses.
Thanks.
Aaron Nola is third with 98, and then Jose Quintana is seventh on the list with 82.
Well, and you know what that stat is? That stat is, to his credit, up until last year, took the ball every fifth day.
He's available, yeah.
So he pitched a lot, which it's like Cy Young, right? Cy Young has 500-plus wins. Cy Young has how many losses? 500-plus losses, doesn't he? Because he pitched 6 days a week.
Right.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, it was like every other day or every day.
But Aaron Nola, to his credit, up until last year, was available every single week.
Exactly. So then, with that point here, the next one, funny enough, is most games started since 2015. Is Aaron Nola fourth with 311 games started? Is he eighth with 287, or is he 15th with 258?
Whatever the 311 was, that's where he's at.
Aaron Nola is fourth with the most games started, with fourth most since 2015. The other two guys on the list are Max Scherzer and Justin Verlander that have way less games started than Aaron Nola. So that just really goes to show how reliable he has been for this team, and I think deserves more.
They're also in their 40s.
There was a stat out there probably before last year where Nola and Wheeler had pitched the most innings in baseball combined than anybody else. It's unbelievable. And that really was the whole justification of the Aaron Nola contract was he takes the ball every fifth day, and he's an above-average starter. The problem was last year he was terrible.
Fell off quick.
And this year he's been a lot better. Even the ERA is coming down a little bit, but he actually hasn't been bad. He's been really good of late.
What was your bet with Ray? 4.5 was the ERA?
Even if he gets the ERA down, I won the bet because what he was saying was like, oh yeah, he's gonna have an ERA in the threes. No, he's not.
Is at 5.12.
I have went from being what people called negative on Nola for a long time, and I was never negative on Nola, and then I became one of his biggest defenders this year. Because if you take the contract out of it and you say this guy's going to go 5 innings and give up 3 or 4 runs or less, at least you know you're getting 5 innings out of him.
Sure.
Now, you don't want to pay $25 million a year for it. That's the biggest issue.
And you were doing that with Walker earlier in the year, too.
But quality Nola starts are different than quality starts, and I'll take them every time.
Yep. And we'll go to the next one here out of the handy-dandy bag. It's most strikeouts since 2015. Where is Aaron Nola in the most strikeouts in 2015? Is he first with 2,200? Is he third with just over 2,000 strikeouts? Or is he ninth with 1,700 strikeouts?
Ninth.
He is not. He's third since 2015 with 2,022 strikeouts.
Oh, you got 2015 Nola in there.
Yeah, the guy still racks it up for what it is. And
you got 8 the other night? Like, he had a really good start the other night.
Yeah. And then Justin Verlander is way behind him there at ninth on the list. So I thought that was kind of interesting how dominant that Justin Verlander has been in his career. Now, you're missing some of his early years.
Aaron Nola's supposed to be in his prime.
Yeah, well,
Verlander is on the tail end.
Listen, I'm taking Nola over Verlander for sure.
Yeah,
in their primes,
absolutely. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to another one here.
All right, last one.
All right, innings pitched. Aaron Nola, is he second on the list with 1,800 innings pitched? Is he fourth with 1,700? Or is he eighth on the list with 1,600?
I'll say second.
He is second on the list with 1,800 innings pitched.
You know what? I hate the exercise that you're doing because you're trying to make me say we're too critical about Aaron Nola. And you know what? You could play this exact same game with Jalen Hurts. And
what do you think we're doing here?
I could come up with a Jalen Hurts game where it's, how many quarterbacks have been to 2 Super Bowls in the last couple of years? And I can do all the positive stats in the world. Yeah. And then I can play the exact same game the next day where it's what quarterback can only throw 15 times in a game for them to win. I could do the exact same thing. I could do the negative Nola game, who has the most home runs allowed since 2015, and I bet you he's top 3 somewhere.
He might. That might be what we're doing here. Now, like the one part here, which is kind of a little bit of a negative maybe, but I thought was interesting was who do you think is eighth on this list? It's our good old friend Kyle Gibson.
Gibby.
He threw a poop ton of innings, and I thought that was a little interesting where this guy...
His arm didn't hurt.
To Aaron Nola's
87 miles per hour.
But right.
You need
long-time Philly Kyle Gibson.
You need innings eaters, you know?
You do.
That was Nola or not, fellas. Hopefully he keeps this train rolling tonight.
All right.
Dude, they need it.
Coming back, we got Herb suspended. So here's my question, legitimate question. Do we want Herb to be a part of the show? We'll discuss on the other side, then we'll bring him on. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I like Herb, but like also, I don't know. I don't know. We'll discuss it on the other side. Marks and Salciunas, 97.5. All right, so hold on a second. All right, so Andrew, we're coming back right after this. Marks and Salciunas, 97.5.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Phil streak snapped. I'm Sean Rodman, and Zach Wheeler had his worst start of the season. Wheeler went 4 innings, but gave up 5 walks, 4 home runs, and 8 earned runs over Wheeler's last 5 full starts, excluding a rain-shortened one in Baltimore. He has an ERA over 9 with 16 walks, according to MLB.com's Paul Casella. Wheeler was asked postgame if he's dealing with any type of injuries.
That's why it's so frustrating right now. It's just because I'm on a rough stretch and I feel fine. And it's got to really dig in. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'll sit down, talk, try to get some stuff figured out.
Phils are back in action tonight against the Mariners again. Aaron Nola scheduled to start for the Phils and George Kirby for the Mariners. First pitch is at 9:40. Makai Lemon and Devontae Smith were back at practice in full yesterday, which is a good sign for Eagles fans heading to open practice tonight, which is at the link at 6 o'clock. Tim McManus joined us at the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour. You can listen to that on YouTube or podcast it anywhere where you listen to podcasts. I'm Sean Rodman on the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Marks and Salciunas from 6 to 10 a.m. Brace and Dunn, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And app.
This hour is brought to you by The Bagster, dumpster in a bag. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. For details, go to Baxter.com.
Yeah, I hear you do the Bagster when you do the reads.
Yes.
And many times I've said I need to get the Bagster.
Yes.
But I would end up filling it up and getting, because I just want to get rid of everything. I have so much crap. I need a real dumpster, honestly. But
well, you can get a couple of the Bagsters, dumpster in a bag. I will say though, my parents, when they moved out of my childhood home, they had a full-blown steel dumpster dropped off at their house, and they filled that thing, dude. And I was honestly impressed with the amount of junk that they had. Because we were all in that house for like 15 years.
You don't realize how much stuff you have until you try to get rid of it or move it.
Yeah. You accumulate stuff over years. By the way, all the kids' stuff. It was me and my sister. So.
Well, no, we have a bunch of boxes in the basement that's like for the grandkids. I'm like, for the grandkids? Like, all right. Like, I get it. You know, my daughter's 10.
Yeah, but it's going to I kept a lot of my stuff, dude. I was weird, man. I knew, at some point I was going to have a kid in my life. I just knew it. I told you, I gave my son all my souvenir little mini bats the other day. That was a nice moment for me. I played with them.
Did you tear up?
With them. No, I did not tear up with that. There is one that gets me.
What?
I kept my favorite stuffed animal, and he uses it.
What is it?
It's a gray dog, and his name is Gray Doggy.
So when did you get Gray Doggy? How old?
I was probably a baby.
So you were young, so that's your stuffed animal through your whole life.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I get sentimental with when the kids there's this one. It's called Teddy Bear because that's what Lena called her.
Yeah.
In the hospital, I think my mother-in-law went to the gift shop and got her this pink teddy bear, and Lena would just carry her around and say Teddy Bear. And that was the name. And then Bella, my little girl, she took Teddy Bear.
Oh,
so it was
that's
Teddy Bear was
nice.
handed down, but then she didn't want Teddy Bear anymore. And I'm like, no, here, here's Teddy Bear.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to keep it in my room just so I don't want, for that, I'm not throwing out Teddy Bear, so I can relate.
Yeah, all right. Do you have 5 things that will not be thrown out that your child had? We found his...
much more than that.
We have his teether. It was a sloth. That thing's not getting thrown out.
No, we just recently, and when I say recently, over the weekend, went through a bunch of toys, and there was these, blocks, not wooden blocks, but they were big stacking paper boxes. There's, 1 through 10's the number, so you stack it up with the
I
number.
had something like that.
And then they crash them down and whatever, and we threw out all 3 of them. Because my daughter's 5. She doesn't need that anymore. And I saw it in the trash. I didn't even throw it out. I'm like, we're throwing out the block. What? You sure? And my wife's like, yeah, they're chewed up and all that. All right.
I'm more sentimental with inanimate objects than actual people.
Oh, me too, for sure.
Dude, I'm going to cry when I get rid of my car. It's at 161,000 miles on it.
Oh, no, never mind. I don't.
Eventually, I'm going to... Well, it's the car that I brought Coop home from the NICU.
No, I believe
you know
me.
what I mean? There's things... I'm like, oh, my God.
There's things that because you see your life flashing before you.
Yes.
This was the car that I had when Coop came home. This is where we were when she was pregnant. Everything brings back these memories for sure. And Petrilli, everything goes back to rugby and drinking beer.
By the way, speaking of Petrilli, John Hunter already did your job for you. He gave me the, since 2015, most home runs allowed in Major League Baseball. And as John points out, it's not bad names on the list. So Corbin's number 1 with 263. He's bad. Aaron Nola's second. But then you have Kevin Gausman, Max Scherzer, Robbie Ray, Jose Berrios for a time was a really good pitcher in Major League Baseball, Gibby, Garrett Cole, Kyle Hendricks, and Michael Wacha.
Right.
Good pitchers.
Good pitchers that throw a lot.
They throw strikes.
And they throw solo home runs.
And some of them throw hard.
Yep.
And so it's going to be boom or bust.
All right. Well, you're sentimental for a teether. I'm not sentimental for Herb from Northeast Philly. Now, the callers and my longtime callers and listeners are very important to me. I will express some frustration in not being able to lock up a whack pack since I've been back at the Fanatic. Now, Herb was a part of a divorce proceedings when then he went with the other station, and now he's back because I don't know why he called. But
he broke parole.
Angry Al, I'm sentimental towards. Actually, Herb, Herb I would be. Levi I was.
Oh, yeah.
Bernie, obviously.
Bernie.
Herb's that kind of character.
It was nice hearing Spanky call him the other day.
Spanky's an awesome
That made me
caller.
happy.
Well, what we need, because we're a morning show, we need a whack pack. And it takes time to develop. I developed Herb from Northeast Philly. I turned him into the star that he is right now. And yet he turned his back on me, Andrew Salciunas.
Wow.
And he's been suspended as well. What's going on, Herb?
I don't know, bro. I heard you were on the 6 a.m. show, that you were transferring.
Yeah.
I figured a few weeks ago,
You hit the transfer portal.
Well, no.
Friday, I was heading into work.
Herb called in the support. Are you in the bathroom?
Yeah, I'm in the bathroom right now. I was getting gas. I was waiting for you. I had to come home.
You had gas or you were getting gas?
I was getting gas, filling up my car. Been up since like 7:30 this morning.
Are you in a Wawa bathroom?
No, I'm in my apartment.
Okay. Because you know where he called? One time he called from TJ Maxx in Northeast Philly. From the toilet.
Yeah.
From the toilet.
That's just...
All right. So are you doing business on the toilet or are you just taking a rest? What's going on?
No, I'm doing business on the toilet right now.
Now, you're not going to try to wipe when you're on the phone call, right?
I can do it.
No.
Talking to you, right?
All right,
so
listen.
How did you know I was in the bathroom?
Oh, the echo. Johnny Marks is a trained ear, man.
No, I think Petrilli said it. Yeah, it's an echo.
This.
Yeah.
You hear the flush?
No.
Okay, let me walk out of there now.
All right.
Sorry.
We'll do it live.
Anyway, yesterday, like last week, they weren't putting me on. You know what I mean? Like two, three times last week.
Yeah, they make you wait all show. Yeah, go ahead.
I got frustrated holding on for hour and a half, hour and a half. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I know it's not Ike. I know it's between Jack and Spike and Spike.
So,
you know what I mean?
Herb, listen. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I understand. Listen.
Hashtag make the switch.
The same thing happened when I was doing the same show. Because Herb, sometimes, we can't have you on every day to do the same thing. It waters down the beauty of Herb. You can't just have him on every day for him to do the same act.
Yeah.
So you get tired of going, and then it's like, all right, if he's on the air if he holds for 2 hours, then maybe we put him on, right? So I don't want to hear you bitching and whining. So this is what happens: they don't put him on because they're effing with him.
So he comes here.
So then they show that. So, oh, hey, Johnny Marks, how you doing?
So we're the side piece.
So that's what I'm saying. And actually, Herb, I'm going to drop you right now. So that's why I had said I don't really know if I want Herb involved. I don't care who calls who. If Herb wants to call other shows on other stations or on this station, I don't care. Right? If I think you're a good caller, we'll put you on if we think you're a good caller.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But other than that, I don't know. Like this whole thing where it's like now you don't call for months because you've been getting the ultimatum that you can't call, and then you get mad at him, and then you call me. It's like the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, no, that's on you. One of my old buddies, Nick in Collegeville, used to call Anthony all the time. He'd be on with me and Ant at 1:50, and then I'd hear him on with you at 2:10. Down the dial,
giving me crap,
and I didn't care. Like it wasn't like something like, oh my god,
Black Gritty is not exclusive.
BlackGritty.com, yeah,
he's not exclusive to either station. So I
found that funny though. The back-to-back call. I'm gonna call Ann at 1:50, be on the air for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, and then call Johnny Marks.
I'm telling you, the development of celebrity callers, the whack pack callers, is my favorite thing in radio. Period.
Where is Jose, by the way? You hit the what?
He's still around. He hasn't. I didn't try to message him, but I saw he hadn't really been active on social media.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but if we put out the back call for Jose, he would call in.
I want hockey action, yo.
Yeah,
Come on.
have hockey
All right,
action,
we're up against it. We'll come back. We'll put it up for a formal vote, honestly.
YouTube's not feeling it.
Yeah, I don't know if I need Herb on the show if this is what it's going to be. If you're going to be a regular part of the show and you're going to call, then you can do that. But I'm like, I don't want to be, there's Herb after 4 months, and he texts me when he decides he's going to call. Yeah. All right, we'll discuss on the other side. It is Marks Salciunas, 975.
I don't think there's an engagement ring between Johnny Marks and Herb in Northeast Philly coming anytime soon. Let's be honest, shopping for that engagement ring can feel a whole like shopping for a used car. You walk in, you're not sure who to trust. There's a ton of pressure. And pretty much you're left wondering, did I get a good deal or did I just fall for some greasy sales pitch? That's why you go to Family Company Jewelers, because there's no grease there. All right, it's just great, fine jewelry and great, fine customer service. It's why more and more people are heading to Family Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, because you've been hearing me talk about them for years. It's why I've been a customer for years. They're changing the way that people buy jewelry. They're making it simple, which for people like me, that's great. Honest and pressure-free. No sales commissions, no upselling, no games, just real transparent pricing. In fact, every engagement ring and every piece of jewelry in their showcases has the price clearly listed so you can browse comfortably. So you can start walking around. They won't bother you. They'll say, hey, welcome to Family Company Jewelers. If you have any questions, just let us know. You're walking around. You go, oh, that's a pretty good price. That's a good price. Now you have questions. Now you talk to the team, and they'll be with you every step of the way, just like Angelo Sr. was for me many years ago when I got my engagement ring. Man, I didn't know squat about jewelry, but he helped me through it the entire time, and now I've gone back for engagement rings, wedding bands, Mother's Day gifts, first anniversary. I've sent friends and family to Family Company Jewelers. It's been great. Family-owned, family-run, focused on doing right by every customer who walks through the door. Just stop by their showroom, Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, or you can shop online anytime, FamilyJewelers.com. Family Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, everything we missed here and more, it is Marks and Salciunas. Guess we have to wrap up the Twitter question of the day, which is always brought to you by Dr. Avedon Appel of Iron Mountain Men's Health.
It's still standing, Johnny, the poll. Strong.
It is.
Stiff.
I got to better organize my boards here so I can play the
Yeah,
things
see,
that I
you're a
want to.
multi-board guy.
All right, so here's what I did this morning because I can't sleep. I woke up at 2:30, not by an alarm. I haven't gotten up by an alarm once.
That's impressive.
Since I don't know if it's impressive. Like once I settle in, then the alarm's going to be going off every night. But so I just got up and I came in. So I finished what I had to do with the lunches and I came in with the intention of organizing the board.
Okay.
And putting what I want where and doing some other things that I need to do. I have to get Matt Menard some stuff for our opens for our segments. But then I started to get ready for the show. And then before you know it, it's 5 o'clock and you guys are coming in. I haven't done anything with anything else.
Right.
So I got to actually come in and say, no, I have to spend an hour and do this because I need to be more organized with my board here, my hotkeys board. And I'm not.
You'll get it figured out. We got a couple weeks to football.
Because I have a bunch of stuff, but I'm not even sure what it is, like this.
Well, we're moving on now.
But I can't play that underneath the Twitter poll. I just need...
Just sit right back, then you
Right? So this is an instrumental. All right, so Petrilli, give me the Twitter results underneath this.
All right, so for today, our question was, what is your level of concern with Zach Wheeler? Are you very concerned? We've seen this before, or no concerns? It is going to finish off the day, as it did all day, with 61% of people being very concerned. 31, we've seen this before, and then 8% are no concerns.
61% very concerned.
Hello, I am one of the 61.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say it. It's fair to say it because you're not trashing Zach Wheeler by saying, look at like with Jalen Hurts. If you say the Eagles are going to miss the playoffs this year because Jalen Hurts isn't a good quarterback, well, that's ridiculous.
Right.
Jalen Hurts has a track record. He's been to Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl. Like saying that's ridiculous. But with Wheeler, based on the way he's pitching right now, it's just you should be concerned.
I'll tell you right now, if he pitches like this in September and then into October, they are not winning the World Series. It is like
they're not getting to a World Series.
I will say 0% chance. All right.
But I feel good about you have enough time, and this is Sanchez too.
It's two, yes.
It's both of them. They got to get right because Sanchez hasn't been bad like Wheeler, but he hadn't been great.
No, he had a rough stretch. Then he kind of figured some things out and started pitching really well again. And now this past start, he just got hit a lot. What, 9 hits the other day, 8 hits to start against the Marlins. It's not that he's getting tagged for runs, right? He gave up 4 earned runs against the Cardinals, 1 earned run against the Marlins, 0 against the Cardinals, 2 against the Nationals, but it's the hits. And eventually good teams are going to drive in runs.
And if you look at his game logs, he does give up a lot of hits. In some of the games, though, if they're against lesser competition, he's able to wiggle out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he'll go 6 innings and give up 9 hits, but he'll give up a run or two because he doesn't walk a lot of guys and he wiggles out.
That was the Marlins start.
And he gets strikeouts.
The Marlins start 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 earned run.
Yep.
Because he gets out of it constantly.
My biggest thing is I'm in the boat of we've seen this before, but listening to him talk, I get it was right after the start. He wasn't feeling good. He didn't seem that confident. He was just kind of like, yeah, I'm in a bit of a rut.
Yeah, but he doesn't have.
Dude, I didn't take any. I actually went the exact opposite.
Right.
When he said tomorrow I'm gonna take time, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm like, all right, he's obviously been through this before.
Yeah, he doesn't have much juice to when he talks. I love him, but he doesn't. It's not like he's like, I'm gonna fire you guys up. He's not doing that.
He just didn't have like that ticked off that he did after the All-Star game. You know, what I kind of wanted to see him kind of answer. I mean, do you think instead of pitching in Arizona, do you think he go to like Sedona? I heard there's like nice resorts out there that he could like relax and hang out, maybe get right for a week.
See, to me, he sounded pissed because if you listen to the entire, I don't know, maybe it's a 2-minute exchange, and I only chopped it up in a couple pieces. But at the end of it, the cut that we played, he more or less said, I don't know, I don't have anything else to say. And I think he actually said that. He's got nothing else to say. He answered the question a couple times. He doesn't like the way he's pitching. He doesn't know why he's pitching like this. He's healthy. If you can ask me the same question again in another way, like I just don't want to say it. So he wasn't ordinary or anything like that. But he also, he was ready to be done the immediate availability when he was.
Yeah.
And it wasn't after a long time. And I didn't blame him. So good. He's pissed. I think he's pissed.
Well, like you said, we need to come up with a Dave Dombrowski AI, a Dave Dombrowski bot, and piss off, call him not elite.
I guess we only find out if he becomes elite or he continues to be good.
I heard he said that about Zach Wheeler last night.
Yeah.
Zach, did you hear that?
If he said that about Zach Wheeler would probably fight him. Bryce Harper was just pissed and didn't confront him.
He whined.
I think he did whine a little bit.
He was such a whiny baby, Bryce was. And I love Bryce
watch
Harper.
it.
No, I'm a Bryce Harper fan.
He was hurt.
But man, did he whine.
His feelings were hurt.
And then he did the whole I don't care about it, and yet he does 7 different media hits talking about it.
No. It wasn't just that. The busting with the boys weren't even going to ask him about it, and he had to bring it up to make sure he could talk about it. It was an elite move by Bryce.
I'm not elite anymore anyway.
Yeah, no, that was an elite move by Bryce. Good. Screw Dombrowski. Good for Bryce. All right, so listen, we'll continue to talk about Herb. Petrilli had said, how can you tell no to Herb? He's on the toilet during the show. And I don't disagree with that. But also, they're either he's a listener and a caller to the show, or he's not. It's as simple as that. I'm not going to be told I can't call in, because they're playing games with him. And they're saying he's suspended for not wanting to call in. They can keep promoting the show all they want. That's great.
Yeah, I appreciate
So make
that.
sure you keep talking about Herb calling into the show. But also, I don't need the whole Herb thing if he's not going to call in. I don't know how you feel about it.
Sometimes he entertains me. Sometimes he doesn't.
Right. Yeah, there's times where it's I wish I didn't bring Herb on. But they can be fun, too.
I mean, I was entertained by him being on the toilet. That was actually
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
All right, we'll see how it plays out. All right. All right, everything that we missed on today's show, I have one for you right here. It's Lane Kiffin. So you saw what happened. We talked about it a couple days ago, that he was in camp. He was undrafted out of Ole Miss. I don't even know his name because I don't have it in front of me anymore.
It was Daquan Wright.
Daquan Wright, undrafted out of Ole Miss. He gets signed with the Eagles as an undrafted rookie. He gets cut in camp. He signs with the Browns. So he was in Browns camp earlier this week or last week, and a judge made a ruling saying you and a bunch of other players that started college in 2022, you're actually eligible for a 5th year of college.
Yeah.
So being now eligible to go back to school for his 5th year, he left being on a roster, and he probably wasn't making the team, but he left being on a roster to go back to college. He entered the transfer portal, and LSU grabbed him. Of course, Lane Kiffin had him when he was at Ole Miss. Here's Lane Kiffin, because now all of a sudden LSU's getting criticized for it. Here's Lane Kiffin.
A group of players were granted a 5th year of eligibility around the country. And through them winning their injunction and entry into the portal, they're available to recruit. And so ourselves, like many places around the country, are recruiting them. And because of these rulings, they're either going to play for you or they're going to play somewhere else around the country. So we've made a decision to recruit them, like probably most people are.
There you go.
So it's interesting because I was driving in this morning, and Ryan Day, who's the head coach of Ohio State, was asked about this situation. And he goes, look, I don't necessarily love it, but I got to think about what's best for the team. And if there's good players available, we're going to try to get good players. Yes. Well, as of 30 minutes ago, Ryan Day can't do that.
Yeah, the Big Ten passed the rule. So if you enter the draft and don't withdraw, if you sign with a team, if you're on an NFL roster, you cannot go back to a Big Ten school.
And I like that the Big Ten did that. I just don't know how many conferences are going to say, yeah, we agree with you. The SEC might say, all right, you guys can do that.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with not having a true governing body. Is so what? Now the Big Ten's going to do that, and the SEC isn't. And like you said, is the SEC going to do it?
They're going to laugh at Ohio State and go, we just got a better player.
There's got to be regulations, because the Big Ten's not wrong in saying, like, hey, you went pro, you signed with a team, you're no longer going to come back to college, because you don't need people going pro and then deciding, hey, this isn't working out for me, let me go back to college. But you need a uniform rule. And that's the problem right now that's going on with college athletics.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
It's all over the place. And I don't know how you do that. I don't need Congress involved or anything like that. But like, you can't come up with a unified body that can govern this.
Yeah.
I mean, if the NFL can get Roger Goodell, who essentially works for the owners, you can't do something similar. I mean, maybe it's as simple as the Big Ten and the SEC. I mean, they need to just They need to form just one big conference of the power teams, and that's it.
Think about it. Brendan Sorsby would have played for Texas Tech this year if schools didn't say, we're not playing them. We're not scheduling against
Texas Tech was going to play him.
He would have played. He would have been the starting quarterback of the Red Raiders if teams did not do the whole, we're not going to play you guys then. Like, that's how crazy college football is.
Don't conference commissioners have enough respect for each other that they're not going to go out and say, like, if you're in the, it's like the five families in the New York Mafia.
Right.
Everybody needs to be on the same page. Now, it doesn't always happen, but things are at their best when everybody's on the same page.
Then you have family wars.
And that's what you're having in college
exactly
athletics.
What's happening right now.
In college football, because Big Ten's like, no, screw you. If I'm the SEC, why? A judge made it legal. Why shouldn't I go out and sign this guy?
Yeah, he goes, wow, I have a new tight end. I have a new starting tight end.
He's not 28 and played a bunch of professional football. He's a guy that just went undrafted last year.
Right, that's the other thing.
It's a lot different.
The NBA one is fascinating because there's guys that have played G League basketball. Like, they played a full season for a professional organization. I know they're not the NBA, they're the G League. And then they're going back to college. That's weird. Like, this guy got paid to play basketball and is now going back to – now everybody's getting paid. But this one, to your point, like, these guys –
undrafted rookie. They weren't eligible before. Like, shut up.
Like, would we say – if Uar Bernard said, you know what, I want to go to college and play football.
Like, right now, of course you should be able to go.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you should give all the years of eligibility. All right, coming up next, Brace and Dunn. Everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 6. See you.